Hello and welcome to round 4 of the 2021 MXS Grand Prix World Championship and MX Simulator. It is the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Assen in the Netherlands. The second time we've been to the Netherlands here in 2021 after the opening round at Valkenswaard earlier in the year. But yet again, another sand track in the first of 4 rounds this year on board with us here in the Grand Prix circuit, the Race Raptor Gaming Grand Prix season. And a great track that we have here again, used in the 2019 Motocross of Nations. Pretty familiar track for a lot of people, and we're going to go ahead and give you guys an onboard lap of the track tonight, brought to you by atom.com. Adam Holm getting ready to do battle here tonight in the Grand Prix scene after a week hiatus from racing. But through this right-hand first turn sweeper, this is kind of just this long flowing snake section all the way down to the far end of the circuit, all the way along the grandstands here at the Assen TT circuit, used for MotoGP racing and several other races beyond MotoGP as well. But hit the race tech table at the end of the section, rollers all the way back into the middle part of the racetrack, and this big floater double. You're going to see guys getting laid over on that one. Over this big inside anthill for Adam, and up to the inside again, goes over the anthill to the inside, and then this is where the finish line jump is, actually out of like turn 4 or 5 here, and there's still a ton of the racetrack left to go beyond this though. Right after that, you're going to go over this little floater single into this left-hand corner. You got a launch single, and then a big triple jump out to the back end of the circuit. Some of these guys on the 450s will be electing to carry momentum and hit that triple. You'll see the guys on the 250s, though, sometimes elect to double single up the inside to save some time. But it's all about momentum on a deep sand track like this. Again, a lot more rollers and braking bumps kind of all throughout the track. The rider's going to be skipping to and fro. Again, another roller section here. Holm is going to double his way through, just trying to carry as much speed as possible into this left-hand 90 and this big launch single. Try to land on this third roller out as you go by the mechanics area, carrying speed all the way out to the southern end of the circuit here. As you get all the way to the bottom, long right-hand sweeper kind of tightens into this left-hand kink before this race tech table back by the grandstands. Again, this is kind of the last turn complex that we're riding on top of in the MotoGP circuit. Little right-left and then back right again feeds you back onto the start straight here. The big single out, and that is a lap here tonight at the Assen TT circuit in the Netherlands. Well, again, we are so thankful that every single one of you has tuned in tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and welcome in another member of our broadcast booth tonight as well. It is the KR Money in the chat, hanging out with us tonight, having a good time. What is up, KR? How are you doing tonight, bud?
Hello, everyone. Doing pretty well. Pleasure to be here, and hopefully we can give you guys some lively commentary and a good race for you guys.
Absolutely. You guys may know KR from his many streams that he does on either First Turn Films on YouTube or KR-Money on Twitch.tv. You guys can check him out there, but he also does amateur. He does, I mean, you do EU, you've done the AU stuff, you do EMF. I mean, you're all over the board with all your streams.
Yep, pretty much.
So he's going to be here with us all night long, and we're very happy to have him on board. But let's talk about these qualifying times real quick before we jump into the racing action. First off, the MX2 class are a little bit confused about this. Rasmus Balzer did a 144.054 to go fastest, but for some reason his times are listed twice, so we're not sure about that. But I think in this MX2 class we're just going to have a regular gate. We might actually have a consolation race now that I look at it, going past that 40 mark. KR, maybe you're in the server and you have information on that for us?
No, actually, they're still doing UID grab, waiting for the scripts to load in.
All right, UID grab still going. But in the MXGP class, it was Alexis Leclerc, your defending world champion, on a 137.453. Adam Holm right up there at the top of the sheets, though, as well, with a 38.304. And Nathan Prin jumping up to the 450 class tonight, a 38.382 out of him. Tyler Lang, Chase Tassell mixed in as well. This 450 class, though, there are only 40 riders that have ran laps. So because of that, we will not have a 450 or MXGP race consolation tonight. Let's talk about the championship standings real quick, though, because it's still very, very tight-knit at the top of the MXGP table, with Leclerc and Lang only separated by 5 points currently. You see here 137 for Leclerc, 132 for Lang. Magnetti, Janis, and Eaglin a little further back of them. Magnetti kind of in his own world there in third, trying to catch the gap ahead, but not lose too much to the guys behind. In the MX2 championship, though, Payson Johnson already kind of running away with this a little bit, and of course now Prin moving up to the MXGP class tonight, no longer a factor out of third there. Luke Sullivan will take over third place, presumably, but Cooper Hunt still in second on 108 points, Payson Johnson on 133. That's a 25-point gap, and of course it's 25 points for a moto win. So Johnson already just into the 4th round of this 12-round championship, a whole moto distance ahead of Cooper Hunt. And if any indication of the last couple of weeks, I think he's going to continue to extend it here tonight. Let's jump back into the server, though, and see what things are going on. Looks like
the scripts have just loaded in here. Got 7 riders for the 250 Conti and only 3 for the 450 class. So I guess we're running a 43-man gate possibly for that MXGP division.
Yeah, waiting on official word here from Jeremy Cohenauer, the president of Race Factor Gaming, whether or not that will be the case. Usually that's the case. We've seen up to 45-man gates already ran this year. But then, of course, the MXGP class looks like there's going to be no consies, so we're just waiting for official word. All right, so KR Money, again, so glad that you're here with us tonight. What do you make of the GP championship so far between, in the MXGP class, we have Leclerc, Lang, Dynamic still at the top of the tables, pretty close together, but Johnson moving away in the MX2 class. Do you think that we're already looking at basically the 3 guys that we can expect to either, in Payson's case, just run away and win this MX2 title, and then in Lang and Leclerc's case, to actually battle for it in the MXGP class?
I think for Johnson's case, definitely so. He's proven time and time again that when race time comes around, he's the guy to be pretty much in every single mode that he's in, regardless of what start he gets. So I think 250s is, I don't want to call it for the championship just yet, but it's looking that way already. But you can definitely see Cooper Hunt getting a moto win or 2, possibly sneaking an overall, upset Payson a little bit. And as far as the MXGP division goes, Lang definitely stepped up his game, I want to say. I look for him to really take it to Leclerc over these next few rounds and make a run at this championship for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely hope for that. And like you said, with Cooper Hunt trying to get up there and actually get a race win, let alone an overall win as well on top of that, he's not been able to do either. He was very close last week at Madeley Bazin to actually getting that done. And then, of course, also gave it a go last week at High Point and couldn't quite get it wrapped up there either. So Hunt still on the hunt for his first career moto and overall victories. We'll keep an eye on that as the MX2 class gets loaded into the server, and MX2 Race 1 is coming up next. Of course, we want to ask you guys in chat all night long, what do you guys think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to win this MX2 race tonight? Will we see a familiar face out front or perhaps a new face? It is sand track again. Rasmus Balzer still looking to get up there and maybe get an overall win himself. He's been very fast in qualifying this year. We'll see whether or not he can finally break through for that. But what do you guys think there in chat? Got a lot of people very stoked, of course, to see our guy KR Money here tonight. That's always good to see. But of course, thanks again so much. We got Pooh Cats, we got Kix MX, Brady White, Megan Bradnick, Matt Edwards, Jack Brown, American Basson, maybe, I'm not sure, Alex Griffiths, Christopher Harris, Logan Hartman, Mr. Sandlot, Vitor Santos, everybody hanging out in chat tonight. Good to see y'all. And again, thanks for tuning in tonight. All right, KR, who is going to get the all-important hole shot tonight is maybe the bigger question on this type of racetrack. We've usually seen Johnson get pretty good starts, but he's also been swallowed up a couple times. Who do you think is going to get the jump in this MX2 race?
Well, I personally haven't seen who's done well on this track other than the qualifying results are showing, but shoot, to pick someone right off the bat, let's see, who's here? I want to get a good look at the gate.
Yeah, loading in here to MX2 race number 1. Of course, they're going to go 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And then we'll actually have the MXGP class come up after that. New kind of format this year in Race Factor Gaming where they do the 250, 450, 250, 450 format. Used to be the old format, but we've done that for the last 3 or 4 years or so.
Yeah, and I welcome the change. Darn, I lost my words here, but definitely helps the program go by quicker. I also feel like the old program was nice, but at the same time, it caused a lot of eye strain for a few of these players, like going from back-to-back motos, only having a 5-minute break. So I welcome the change for sure.
Yeah, I definitely also enjoy it. It's nice to kind of see how each class shapes up throughout the night instead of just having it all bulked together at once. Personally, when I used to race, I very much enjoyed being able to sit back and watch whichever class I wasn't racing and kind of take a breather, especially after a long 30-minute plus 2 laps in the sand. But I definitely, like you said, welcome the change this year. It's been a good one so far.
Also helps with line choices further down the line.
Yeah, because you could see which classes maybe doing something a little bit different. If you're on a 250, you're seeing where the 450s are carrying speed, gaining momentum. And then conversely, if you're in the 450 class, you might see a sneaky line that a 250 guy is doing to actually go a little bit faster in a section than you are in a 450. So definitely a little bit better of a chance to actually see what's going on. Again, even when I raced back in the day, I don't remember ever looking too much at what 250 guys would do if I was in the 450 class until I saw them race that night. So definitely an opportunity to check it out and see what they're doing.
Looks like I just got in time here. I did time out, but fortunately we were able to get in time. I think I have a pick now for the whole shot.
Let's hear it.
I am going to go with Cooper Hunt. I think he can get it.
See if I can get this right here. Trying to do this moto timer thing again.
Oh boy, here we go.
Think I'm gonna get it. And back in.
Right.
I think I got it. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is MX2 Race 1 live here on Start Your Systems.
Let's go racing!
It seems like it's coming out of the inside. Maybe the 347s getting to the corner first. We're buried mid-pack through the first turn. And it's side-by-side Rasmus Balzer, and it is that 347 of Seth Carr mixed together. Rasmus Balzer.
Braden Tharp right there. Side-by-side with Balzer going into the corner, but Balzer's going to hold the inside line.
Yeah, around the outside. Tharp trying to get into the mix. Still got the 347 of Carr right there, but Balzer leads him through on the first lap as everybody funnels in line behind.
Johnson with a decent start. He's in fourth already. Going to work on Tharp around this outside line, able to make the pass, and we've lost Balzer from the lead.
Yep, Seth Carr takes it over in contact. Johnson backflips as he makes contact with Balzer, and he lands off the track still in third place, gets back on and continues going. So Johnson avoiding early disaster as Seth Carr goes to the front.
Had a big pile up behind that involving Balzer as he went down, so definitely causing some problems there for the riders working their way through the field. But for Johnson's case, nice save. Able to continue here as he chases down Tharp and Carr up ahead of him.
Dealing with some pressure from behind. Alec Horn on the 310 AEO Power Sports machine. Throwing it in on Johnson. Johnson finally able to establish a small gap. But it is Seth Carr leading us down by the mechanics area here on the first, well now the second lap of the race, is the first lap now behind us as they've crossed the finish line, jump there 5 turns in. But it's Carr from Tharp and Johnson in the top 3.
For the table, these guys go. Tharp a little bit long on that table. Doesn't lose that much time though, the car, as they navigate through these left and rights that this track has to provide. Carr getting away quite a bit down that start straight. Found a good line through there.
Yeah,
kept the momentum going.
Carr definitely ride that rear tire over those big sand rollers as again Johnson under attack. Alec Horn relentless here. These first couple laps, not one to let the leaders get away, but particularly feisty with the 357, your championship leader, Payson Johnson. Couple mistakes for him, and here comes Horn to the outside. Might have a line down the inside. Nearly bar to bar. Little kick out.
Dualies.
Almost, definitely got in there. As now Johnson tucks to the inside to defend. Horn tries to go up the inside in the next turn.
To inside. Johnson's line is a little bit better through there. Carries him through the corner. He's going to keep him in front of the AEO Power Sports rider.
Horn relentless though, and it's actually costing them some time as the lead duo of Carr and Tharp spreading it out. But
going out
Johnson goes for the triple to the outside, and now has a gap established on Alec Horn behind him. So let's see if he can focus on these two riders ahead and make some passes. All over Tharp right now.
Oh, right up to him, doing that line to the inside. Already.
Oh, but he's down.
He's down.
Payson Johnson lays it down, tucks the front end. And he's only going to lose one spot, maybe 2, as here comes Oscar Manias on the 211.
2 in factory rider able to make the move there. So Johnson drops to 5th. Not a big loss. but he's going to lose sight of the leaders for the time being.
Behind that comes Jonathan Alexander. Got Alex Zellner, Dylan Cavacuti, and then Cooper Hunt, second in the championship, entering tonight on that Covenant number 20. So we've got some...
Letting me down on the whole shot pick, but working his way through the field.
Definitely letting you down a little bit there, but he's got a fairly decent start working here. Cavacuti going to get back on behind Hunt as the battle continues. Johnson now trying to get around... Actually, the 53 of Alexander just got around Johnson, so Pace and Johnson
lost another spot.
Struggling a bit here. Trying to carry some speed through the rollers here up to the race tech table. Goes long.
Oh, a little bit of a cross there by Alexander to guard the line. Able to do so, but Johnson has a better run through these rollers. Side by side, almost. They're going to be bar to bar over that double. And I believe Johnson is going to have the pass made right here.
Johnson to the inside. It's to the outside for Alexander. Turns to the inside here, but as you mentioned, Johnson able to get that pass done. Now has his eyes set on Oscar Manias on that 211 2-win factory KTM ahead of him, and he might not be wasting too much time here.
Decides not to do the line this time, but has an inside line right here. Going to make the move. That puts him back up to fourth. Braden Tharp has crashed out a second, meanwhile, so Alec Horn is going to move up to that number 2 spot.
Yeah, Tharp is sliding back to this group now, so Johnson might be getting up into third before long as Tharp has crashed his way back here. He's still got Manias and Alexander. Back there is Manias with a big off. Gets in Alexander, who went off the track on his own back there, and they both almost went down.
Another crash behind these guys. That was Cavacuti going over the bar, so it's going to cost him a few spots as well. As Manias makes that move.
Alexander, Hunt, and Balzer. So Balzer, who was down early on in that contact with Johnson, now catching up to Cooper Hunt and still right in the thick of the lead battle to the most part.
Down, Tharp went down again over that table they just went past, so all these guys are going to gain a position. That drops 4:15 down to 7, but he goes over the bars again. So that's going to drop him possibly outside the top 10 after being in second early on. So not what he was looking for 5 minutes into this moto. But still has plenty of time to make that back up.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to do early in the race here is get a good start and crash your way out of a good start. With Tharp going to try to regroup. Peek back out front and see it's still Seth Carr on the Underground RC 347 leading here 6 minutes in to this 30-minute plus 2-lap MX2 Race 1. And as you mentioned, Alec Horn has moved up to second behind him. The battle to focus on, though, right now, though, is Alexander and Balzer. Balzer just went down, though, after he passed Cooper Hunt, so he's got to go right back to work at doing that.
Just having a look at the lap times here. Oh! Seth Carr, that's the fastest.
Balzer down again, trying to catch up to Cooper Hunt. And he's in an awkward spot here, going to try to get it righted and over the hump.
Going to cost him 3 spots there. Almost gets tagged there by Dylan as he was jumping over him.
And then Tharp there in the background. So we've seen a mix of riders have their fair share of mistakes in these opening laps as Tharp goes down again in the background, but peeking up ahead, trying to see how far back Johnson is of Horn. That gap down to about 4.5, 5 seconds, it looks like.
Yeah, it's quickly coming down, though. Looks like he's gotten his groove back. He's setting his sights on Horn up in front of him, heading into the first corner.
Yeah, this track is unique in that you have these long straightaways, and you can see ahead of you pretty far on them as well. So Johnson, seeing that gap come down, going to get a little bit more confidence about his current flow on the track. And might not be long before he gets to Alec Horn for second. Got a request in chat. Owen Reimer wants to go on board with Johnson. We'll take a look and see what he completes for a lap time here. 147.7 last time by.
Uh-oh. Horn a little mistake in front of Johnson, so he's going to see that gap come down even more. Let's see what he runs this time by. 145.9. Resets the fastest lap of the race at the moment.
Johnson absolutely on the move. Now under 3 seconds to Horn ahead of him and going for the triple again. He's going to be a little short, but he lands it. Carrying that speed around the outside. Oh, Johnson absolutely flying around this track right now.
Oh, slight mistake going into that corner, though. Didn't get lined up quite right. But still doesn't lose that much time to Horn.
This track will give you a thumb workout, that is for sure. You can see Johnson humping the bike everywhere, trying to get everything out of that Covenant 250F Honda that he possibly can. But I'll tell you what, Alec Horn has held that gap fairly steady. It's right at that 3-second mark and not gone down too much.
Uh-oh, Seth has gone off the track in front of these guys, so that gap to the lead is going to come down to about a little over 2 seconds, so top 3 could really condense here. Johnson keeps on the charge, but it looks like he just made a slight mistake before that straightaway.
Yep, here is Carr out front. You can see Horn just off screen in the background as they come up to this race tech table. And Seth Carr's lead has diminished down to just that 1.7 seconds. Oh, Horn off the track.
Oh, off the track. Gets back on quickly, but Johnson's going to have a line of sight on him once again.
Top 3 definitely condensing together here with that mistake out of Carr, and Johnson trying to close up on both of them at the same time. So Carr has got to regroup here coming up to the 10-minute mark. Try to hang on for as long as possible, as Johnson is now right on that rear tire of Alec Horn for second.
Track. Able to get back on. And all 3 of these guys are on the same straightaway now, so that's got to be a good sign, especially for Johnson, knowing that the 2 leaders are directly in front of him, just a matter of passing them. Oh, and Carr down out of the lead.
Wow, oh! He took Horn with him. Horn came out of the corner, clipped Carr's head, and that puts Payson Johnson to the front, so he did not need to make the passes, but he still got the job done anyway. And your points leader is out front here at Assen.
Just like that. Almost feel like I commentators cursed him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You start talking about these guys in a good light, and the second you do, they find the ground. So Carr drops back to 3rd now. Horn remains in 2nd because he stayed on the bike even though he hit Carr. And now Hunt behind them has moved up to 4th, but he is about 6 seconds behind those 2 riders ahead of him.
And that corner that Hunt and Alexander just came out of, it's getting pretty tough to stay on the track there because you stay so far to the edge there that you just maybe go through a few of those track markers. So got to be wary of whether or not cuts could come into play if you go a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's another thing about tonight's track that is maybe a bit different than some of the regular tracks that we race on, is this deep sand is definitely going to wear down a lot differently with the roll resistance and such. As Carr just went down, Hunt moves up to 3rd. We're going to see lines develop, I think, throughout the motos and guys trying to change their lines up and go to different spots of the track. So we'll see whether or not these guys out front can continue to adapt to those changeable conditions or if it bites them later on.
Oh, those ruts getting so deep in those final few corners there before the finish line as Carr tries to keep Hunt in sight here.
So this battle is now for 3rd. Cooper Hunt, Seth Carr, and just off the back here is Jonathan Alexander on that Phil's KTM. Seth Carr going to be a little bit bummed that he's lost the lead here, but so far if he can regroup, this has still been a very strong moto for the 347, and to finish top 5 would be a big step in the right direction for him this season if he can hold on.
I believe it would be his best season finish as well for the Underground RC rider, so definitely going to want to keep it up here for as long as he can.
Looks like he is losing a little bit of ground right now, though, to Cooper Hunt ahead of him, and he's riding the wall out there. Got a little sketchy, but he saved it.
That's the corner I was talking about. Getting really sketchy on the edge of the track there could easily take you down or even off the track. You got to be a little bit more tentative, I would say, going around that section. Just making sure you hit your marks.
See, even the first corner getting pretty choppy and chewy through there as our leaders are all pretty spread apart at this point of the race.
Oh, side by side, Horn made a mistake up in front of these guys. He has lost second to Hunt, and now third to Carr. So
woo! Seth Carr riding the rear wheel out of that corner.
Here.
Oh, they're nearly side by side still as again they cross lines. Oh, and a lapped rider.
Right into the lapper.
So Horn takes over third. Now behind Cooper Hunt, who has moved up into second place. So your championship 1-2 are currently 1-2 on the racetrack as well. 7 seconds between them. And
Johnson
Hunt
just went down after that triple, though, so Hunt going to be right there, actually making the pass on him in that corner.
Wow, another change here as Johnson has just not been able to stay off the ground. And Cooper Hunt now takes over the lead. So it's a Covenant 1-2. But it's flip-flop from the usual as Johnson gets into another lap rider and goes down. Horn goes by. There goes Carr. Here comes Alexander, and Johnson's still trying to pick the bike back up as more riders go by.
That's just been the story at the midway point of the moto. Lapped riders going down in sometimes the main line, and it's just nothing that the leaders could do.
Especially on this track, too, with the blind jumps.
Yeah. Oh, and Horn down now out of second. So that's going to cost him spots to Carr, Alexander, maybe Johnson here. Yes, gets by him as well. So Horn going to drop to, looks like, fifth. With Manias trying to close that gap as well.
Yeah, Manias still back here. Seth Shirley a little bit off the tail end of this group here on the 80. And then you got Casey Cochran and Balzer behind that coming through. But interesting to see how Johnson can recover from this, as again, he's still got to get through a lot of riders.
Just went down again in that first corner. Horn's going to get by. Manias will do so as well. So from the lead all the way back to Seth Shirley makes the move. Looks like 8th, or 7th rather.
Coming unglued here for Johnson. He has got to regroup. Stick on the rear tire here of Shirley, or might make a quick pass as these two battle it out.
Just gets such a good drive out of that corner, but Shirley's holding tough. Side by side. Manias down.
Wow, Johnson just thread the needle as well, trying to get around Manias and not take Shirley to the ground. Gets a 2 pass done there, and now is back up into 5th, I believe it is. Yes.
See if he continues to go for that triple line. Nope, gonna double single here.
Meanwhile, battle up ahead of them, brewing. Alec Horn catching up to Seth Carr in a battle for 3rd. Jonathan Alexander has moved ahead of these guys into 2nd, so it's Cooper Hunt, Alexander, Carr off the side of the track. And now Alec Horn goes into 3rd. Carr still trying to get it stood up as here comes Johnson.
These ruts continuing to get deep all throughout. These left and right-handers. Carr trying to guard the line here on Johnson, but it's not going to be enough. Johnson makes the pass right up the inside there.
Yeah, that was really just momentum. You can see how much a crash affects you on the sand soil because it just takes so long to get back up to speed, and Johnson carrying it from the previous section could go a little bit harder.
Oh, and Carr going to go down again.
Unfortunate. That's going to allow Shirley by, and not quite able to get there yet is Casey Cochran, but he is going to be closer.
And another quick update. Alexander just went down out of 2nd, so leaders continuing to trade mistakes. Shirley goes down.
And Alexander
down again.
Again, this is just a crash fest in this MX2 Race 1. Nobody can stay on 2 wheels other than Cooper Hunt, and that has been his strong suit this year. Consistency is key, and on a track like this, which has come up and bite these guys all moto long, Cooper Hunt holding steady out front.
Letting me down on the whole shot, like I said, but making up for it right now. 16-second gap.
He just thought you were picking him for the moto win, so he's trying to make that right.
Well, I did say that.
We'll call it that. We'll call it even.
Close enough. Oh, Horn going to make a mistake. Johnson right by him there.
All right, so again, a Covenant 1-2 with Johnson moving back into 2nd. Horn going to slide back to 3rd. Then it's Seth Carr 4th. Cochran now all the way up to 5th on that BPC Yamaha. And he has been,
charge for him.
Yeah, he's been steady throughout the midpoint of this race as well. Very similar to what we're seeing out of Hunt. See if he can't keep that train rolling and try to find his way up onto the box before this one's over. 18.5 minutes down, a little over 11 minutes still on the clock, as you guys can see there on the screen. And this 30-minute plus 2-lap MX2 Race 1 at Assen in the Netherlands.
It's like Johnson may have made another mistake while in second. Horn all over the back of him now. As he tries to contend for second again. But Johnson going to get away down this straightaway.
Yeah, Horn was getting a little whiskey coming through the first turn, trying to push hard, keep Johnson in his sights, but he has been riding very strong this entire moto. And the 310 AEO Power Sports gas is on the gas right now.
Just having a look at the lap times late in the moto, they have really fallen off of their fast pace, with the exception of Cooper Hunt, really still staying in the 150 range. Johnson's still in the 147, so fastest man on the track.
Ooh, Johnson off the track though.
Whoa.
Gets back on. Nice save, not slide down the backside and maybe have a legs off because of it, but loses some time. Kind of seems like the MO currently for Johnson. He's absolutely sending it, maybe to try to catch his teammate before this is over, but every little mistake that he happens to come across is costing him all the time that he gains back. Rider down, and Johnson just able to squeeze by.
That's the thing about Johnson too. Sometimes he's able to save his mistakes, other times
A terrible tracker entry for Johnson, who blew the corner at the end of the section. Horn hits him, doesn't quite fall off the bike, but now here comes Seth Carr in what is now a battle for second. So that dynamic has changed.
Was there, but nonetheless, he's still not too far off of that group there for second.
So let's see if Carr... Oh, he's going to go down.
Say that.
Man, oh man, these guys are on the struggle bus here as this track is wearing in. So Johnson, he goes back by for third now. Carr is fourth. Seth Shirley has moved up ahead of Casey Cochran into fifth. And everybody is just trying to get their feet underneath of them on this racetrack as it continues to develop and get worse in some sections.
I almost want to go through the top 20 just to see how everyone is really handling the track, both at the front of the field and the back of the field, but at the same time, these guys trading positions so much, it just makes it hard to keep up with it all.
Well, let's pick it up right now. Let's go ahead and do our top 20 rundown. This one's brought to you by R Jerky. Head over to eatrjerky.com. Use the code SYS20. That's SYS20 for 20% off your order. And they're going to bring you this top 20 rundown. I'm going to hand it over to you, KR Money. Let's see what you got for a top 20 rundown here tonight.
All right, let's see it. Got Cooper Hunt on the Covenant Honda ride, 22 seconds up in front of the AEO Power Sports rider of Alec Horn. Solid ride going so far, as he tries to hold off Payson Johnson, also on the Covenant ride, in third. And we got Seth Carr on his Underground RC Kawasaki in fourth. Seth Shirley also on a Kawasaki, this time riding for atom.com in the top five. Then we got Casey Cochran on his BPC Yamaha in sixth. Jonathan Alexander on his Phil's KTM in seventh. There's Dylan Cavacciuti there on his Underground RC ride. Seth Carr's teammate running in eighth. Trevin Thompson and Oscar Minaya is going at it for ninth. Minaya's not quite able to make the move just yet, but these guys will continue to battle for as long as neither rider doesn't make a mistake here. Going back outside the top 10 for a little bit, we got Ryan Pinkerton on his AEO Gas ride in 11th. Carson West on his Arizona Decal Kawasaki in 12th. Alex Kerr on his Jack Daniels Racing ride in 13th. Scott Balzer making the move on him, sending him way off the track. And into the hay bales goes Balzer off the track. Almost instant karma there, but Kerr able to keep his position. The Bowser is still in 14th. That is Chris Post in 15th on the number 164 there. Alex Zellner on his Matrix concept ride in 16th. There's Talon Zollers on his Covenant ride in 17th. Frank Jackson for Team Nami in 18th, trying to track him down. Brendan Nygren on atom.com running in 19th. And to put a conclusion on this top 20 rundown, we have Will Clark riding for the Boots House Racing Team in that final points paying position. That is your top 20 rundown. Back to you, Kellen.
I appreciate that. That was a great one. Of course, all that is brought to you by R Jerky. And use that code SYS20, eatrjerky.com. Take a peek back out front. See, Cooper Hunt still has got the lead. He is into some lap traffic, though. Just trying to weave around the 714 and the 67. Up the inside there.
Looks like Jace Rife and Colton Hansen that he's getting around right now. Able to do so. Gap for the lead is still coming down, though. And as I say that...
But that allows Carr and Johnson by, and they were about to engage in maybe a three-rider battle. Now it's a two-way one because, they both kind of swap coming out of the corner. Carr Johnson
able to save it.
Oh, look at Johnson's line through that first couple of corners there, just hopping his way through. Oh, my goodness.
Almost lands on him.
He's still side by side, though. Carr not wanting to let it go. Johnson down the inside.
Right here.
Yeah, has that pass made. That massive inside line in that corner is definitely the preferred option. And Johnson now back up into second place. It's been a roller coaster of a ride here for the 351, the points leader. But he's finally made his way back into the highest points paying position aside from his teammate, Cooper Hunt, out front.
Yeah, he's gone from backflipping on the first lap to being in the lead. Almost had it in control there, tripling this section right here. Then going down, falling back to almost 7th or 8th at one point, and able to get back up to 2nd to salvage some points. But he is going to lose some to Cooper Hunt at this point.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, it's a 25-point lead, so as it stands right now, it's provisionally down to a 22-point lead in the championship, but obviously Johnson still comfortably out front. Alec Horn, Seth Carr, Seth Shirley a little further back here.
Casey Cochran not too far back either.
Yeah, all these guys are still fairly close together, so as we've seen at the beginning of this moto so far, it's just one crash and things get shuffled around in a hurry. "26 minutes in, so 3 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock. And wow, Seth Shirley, no, I'm sorry, it's his teammate that's off the track right there. One of the atom.com cowies tricking me.
Get a closer look at him there. Throwing some stees over that tabletop.
That's Nygren, I think.
That is Nygren, yep. So they've lapped into the top 20 from the looks of it.
Teammates matching there, and then Cochran behind that. Cavacuti, Manias, and Jonathan Alexander. Alexander trying to charge forward again. At one point, Alexander was in second in this race. Drifted his way back into this battle with Manias.
And that's about where he started this moto from what I could tell. So definitely not going to be too thrilled on this, but definitely going to be a learning experience and can apply what he learned to the next moto, provided that he doesn't get up much further than this. Still believe that he could, the way that the nature of this race has been going. Mistakes all over the place.
With the inside here, Manias might pull alongside.
He's got a better drive.
Up to the
Next
table.
to him, almost dualies. These guys are just not throwing it.
Manias, I think, got a kick or something because he was almost through the front door on that 2-win factory KTM, but he loses the spot to Alexander. I don't think he's done, though. Now he lays it over hard on the finish line jump and comes back up the inside. Gets the pass.
I think you might have heard me.
Has the broadcast on in another window right now, and he realizes he's on camera, so he's got to toss filth.
Alexander not done, but he's off the track.
Nice save, though. These guys dropping off a basic cliff to the side of the track here. The track raised up with the sand laid in here. Nice job for Alexander to corral the Phil's KTM underneath him.
Just a quick little update on your leaders. Cooper Hunt's lead had dropped to 7 seconds, but Payson Johnson ended up running into a lapper in that first turn area, so it's back up to a 15-second lead. So still looking good for Cooper Hunt to get his maiden moto win.
Yeah, getting down to crunch time here. He is going to cross the line here with 1 minute and 13 seconds still on the clock by the looks of it, or thereabouts. So this is going to be 3 to go this time by. They are not going to make it back around again before time expires, and Hunt might be counting the seconds or perhaps counting the laps at this point towards that maiden MX2 race victory, as you mentioned. Johnson is definitely sending it, though, trying.
Triples again. That's been his hotline pretty much the whole race.
Riding the ragged edge off that Covenant Honda. Weaving through some lap traffic as well as he jumps to the outside there. Seems like the gap is slowly coming down, but a little mistake there. 12.8 seconds. Again, if you're new to Race Retro Gaming Grand Prix Racing and MX Simulator, fall-off crash in this game is roughly 8 to 12 seconds. We sometimes call it a legs-off crash as well because you can't actually fall completely off the bike, but you get into that 8 to 12 second range of the guy out front, you are within striking distance of a potential fall-off crash. Crashing happens quite often in this game. It's very hard to stay on 2 wheels for a whole moto as Johnson through the front door goes down himself.
He just bought a one-way ticket to Indonesia right there, and I don't think those are refundable.
It picks it back
He's still gonna stay in second though.
Yeah, still in second there. But he is absolutely buried in some lap traffic right now, and they're barely giving him an inch as he squeezes by. So Hunt now has a sizable advantage as he gets the 2 lap board this time by, and he can breathe a big sigh of relief knowing he's got some time in his back pocket if he wishes to have a lengthy fall-off crash at this point.
Oh!
There we go.
Right there, though.
Just as I switch away from him, he goes down. So commentators curse aplenty. And that gap is going to come back down again. Curious to see what it goes down to. Will it be around that 10-second mark?
It might be a little bit more than normal considering the track conditions here. Rough sand is really tough to get going, like you mentioned earlier.
So it looks like
it's staying at about 12 seconds.
Yep. Johnson's still trying to carry momentum. The benefit for Cooper Hunt is about to be that if he can get around the lap rider right ahead of him, he has got clean air for a while. Johnson, meanwhile, has to get through some lap traffic as he narrowly makes contact there with one of the lap riders. But he's got 5 lap riders between him, 4 lap riders between him and Hunt out front. Oh, and Johnson down again.
I think that might do it this time.
Well, we said that last time, and then Hunt made it interesting.
You're right.
We'll see. This track is definitely reaching up and biting some of these guys late, and Johnson, despite all the crashing, is still here in second. Seth Shirley has moved up to third. He is
Shirley's not too far back as he gets ran into by a lap rider there.
Yeah, the lap traffic is kind of all over the place, which tends to happen when you have leaders crashing a lot because lappers are getting lapped twice or sometimes 3 times by the same guy, and they're not as friendly every single time it happens. But Shirley now here in third, just ahead of Horn, and they have opened up a gap on Cochran, so they are trying to just settle a battle between themselves for third perhaps at this point, and maybe just
their best career finish as well.
Yep.
If either one of them gets on it.
For their case, maybe just hoping as well Johnson has yet another crash in him still because he's not too far up the road. White flag is out though. 1 to go for Cooper Hunt. On the verge of his first career moto victory here in Race Retro Gaming competition. Johnson still second, Shirley third, and Horn fourth. That gap coming down slightly between Horn and Shirley.
Ooh. Hunt down in the lead, so like you said, not over yet. Backwards on the track, off the track.
Coming
and now
on.
Johnson down right as we say that.
Uh-oh, now Johnson has Shirley coming to the outside. This is going to create a battle for second in a hurry because there's Horn as well. It's a three-rider battle. Look at Shirley trying to go to the inside. Doesn't quite get there. And now Johnson getting some momentum going again. Maybe opening up a small gap, but a mistake there. Here comes Shirley. He's going to launch out. Can he carry some speed down the straightaway? Johnson goes for the chop block. Here comes Horn up the inside of Shirley.
Great racing here down to the line as still have half a lap to go. Hunt is in some lap traffic here, still struggling to get by them, and we also have a three-way fight for second.
Nose to tail action. Johnson trying to hold on for this 2 spot. Hunt out front just trying to hold on for the win. And if he goes down again, all 3 of these guys might get by him. That is how close it still is. Oh, Johnson!
Whoa! He
stays on 2 wheels, but he's just going to lose those spots as Shirley and Horn go by. Now here comes Horn trying to get a drive to the outside of Seth Shirley bar to bar at the end of the straightaway.
Horn going to case the table just a little bit, but he's got a good drive around this outside line.
Shirley got a pretty good one up the inside. Horn is charging, trying to get to Seth Shirley. Meanwhile, out front, final corner, and finally he's gonna get it done. It looks like Cooper Hunt out of the final corner wins MX2 Race 1 in the Netherlands. Shirley comes around. He will pick up second. Horn crosses the line third. And Johnson into the final turn will get fourth in this one. Gonna lose 7 points there to Hunt.
Wow.
It's gonna be Cochran rounding out the top 5, Oscar Manias and Seth Carr in a drag race to the line. It's going to be Manias ahead of Carr, 2/10 in it. Cavacuti will be 8th here ahead of Alexander in 9th. Pinkerton 10th. Chris Post 11th. Trevin Thompson is 12th. Kerr, riders on the track. Oh, that is Nygren, I think, getting up from a crash there. So Kerr goes down, and it allowed Carson West to go by. Like all these other positions are staying the same. Alexander, Pinkerton, Post, Thompson, Carson West, Alex Kerr, Blake Wickland back here. Braden Tharp getting all sideways off the track. Jack Gatlin behind him. He was nearly getting lapped a couple of times there. Alex Zellner, and then the first rider lap down in 19th, Talon Zollers and Will Clark rounding out our points paying positions. Let's stick with Gatlin and Tharp here to the flag perhaps. Might be something in it between these two.
Oh, Gatlin off the track. Able to get back on quickly, but unless Tharp makes a mistake, that might just be it for the MXS Magazine rider.
Couple more corners here for Tharp, just trying to ease it on into the finish line here. And Tharp will cross the line 16th. Gatlin going to finish up in 17th, and one rider still to finish. It's Zellner in 18th, and we'll get cuts. Zellner hopping ruts all over the place. Oh, not quite got cuts just yet.
Still have a rider to wait on. See if we can find him here. There's Carl Novak. 35th, waiting for him to cross.
Tough moto for him. All right, let's look at these cuts.
All right, let's see how it changed things.
It's like Thompson jumped around Post for 11th, and I think that was our only change.
Looks like it.
All righty, Cooper Hunt has done it. First career moto victory here in the Race Tractor Gaming Grand Prix Championship. He's going to look to back it up in Moto 2, and one of the things he's got going for him now is his teammate Payson Johnson did not finish on the podium in this one, so Hunt is looking for the overall today. Johnson has got his work cut out for him in the second moto to try to win it and let whatever happens to Hunt happen.
Just quickly writing down the top 15 so I can do my quick maths and calculate the overall once we get to second motos.
Alrighty.
Trying to go quick.
All right, back to our intermission screen here. In studio, Kellen Brower, joined by the KR Money, aka First Turn Films, AKR KR Money on Twitch. Same thing, fooled you. But glad to have you tonight. How you doing so far? What's Moto 1?
I'm almost speechless, honestly. The mistakes going on, the traction or the track getting rough. Yeah, it was a good race. I didn't know who was gonna come out on top with that one. But congrats to Hunt getting the win. Hopefully he can back it up, win this overall. But it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. So if that's what it's gonna be looking like racing-wise throughout the whole night, we could be in for a good one.
Absolutely. This track is definitely providing so far. Good to see. And again, good to see all of you guys here in chat tonight, chatting it up, having a good time. Normally we got our guy KR in there hanging out with all you folks, but he's in the booth tonight hanging out with me. And we're just watching you guys have a blast in chat, talking about all kinds of good stuff. The Reed 34, Graham Procession. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Christopher McPherson. Owen Reimer is here still. Megan Bradnick asks, are you going to Budds Creek? Are you asking me? Because no, I am not going to Budds Creek IRL, unfortunately. But I am going to Redbud, Millville, and Washougal. Just booked my plane tickets today. So
We're going to Millville as well, so...
Well, there we go. Night. We'll have to meet up.
Absolutely.
Toast a beverage to this lovely broadcast we're putting on here. What's up, Paintballer27 says, what's up, and following you on RacerX. Thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely head over to racerxonline.com. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards over there. Constantly doing work. And our guy Mitch Kendra's on vacation this week, so it's literally just me and Weege working on the site all week. So definitely check out what we got going on there. MXGP race number 1 getting ready to go here. Graham Procession says I can just say his first name. All right, Graham, you got it. Graham
works for me.
Carson West says tell KR I said he was cute.
Aw, jeez. Got me blushing behind the mic.
Visor says shout out to his teammate Alec finishing on the podium Moto 1. Absolutely, Alec Horn shredding out there.
Yeah, he was killing it.
And saw an insane stat that RC has 141 Moto wins. That is insane. Yeah, RC has some pretty darn insane statistics, no question about it. I think Tomac just moved to 3rd all time with 49, but he's still 19 behind Dungey on 68. And then, yeah, RC has double that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's catching him for a long time.
It's just
still possible, but
yeah, I don't think it's tough to say we'll ever see that much dominance in the class ever again with how much everybody's so equal, it seems, anymore. So much of the training and everything is all the same. But who knows? This could be one day, maybe the next GOAT coming in 20 years or something like that. All right, back to the live screen. Get our moto timer up here in just a second. Waiting on someone to load in. There we go. All right. And 450 Moto 1 ready to go. Who is going to get that all-important hole shot? It's time to go racing again here at MXGP Race 1 from Assen. Well, I picked Carter to look at. He got a great jump out of the middle. He's charging hard to the outside, and he's actually going to get to the corner first. Braden Carter, race tag hole shot, jumps off the track immediately. Leclerc right there as well, but it's Carter, Leclerc, and Austin Bear out front. A 42 of Nathan Prynne right in the mix as well.
And I believe that might be the first good start I've seen from Carter out throughout this outdoor season. Normally you would see him mid-pack, so definitely got it figured out. See if he can keep this going as Leclerc begins to close in on him.
It has definitely been a rough start to the year in terms of starts for Carter, no question about it. But he definitely went full send on that one as he leads across the line at the end of the first lap. Leclerc already putting that pressure on, and I think these 450 guys are going to see them all bust this triple out into the corner here.
Oh, Perrin over the bars behind him while running in third, so going to cause a few riders to stack up here. More riders piling in.
Tough spot to be.
Looks like outside the top 10.
Eyes focused on this battle out front, though, as Carter flirts with the edge of the racetrack, and Leclerc going to use this outside line. Let's see if he triples out off the wall. Yes, he does. Might have a drive up the inside for the race lead, and there it is. Leclerc, just like
right
that.
There.
Wasting no time.
See how the Phil's KTM rider is able to respond to this as he goes off the track. Kind of overjumps that table a little bit, so already starting to lose a little bit of ground.
Leclerc is so good in the sand. Doesn't matter where you go. It could be Lama, could be Valkenswaard, or it could be here in Assen. It's just a master of getting traction and power to the ground on that Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, and he always shows well here. Look at these guys doubling through that corner, and Carter's going to take advantage to go back by. Leclerc up the inside. They're going to stay bar to bar. Carter tries to get to the outside and get a drive here, but Leclerc gets a better one out of the corner again. So good with getting a drive on that Husqvarna.
And I'm surprised he got that good of a drive, considering he was on the inside middle-ish line. And Carter was way out there trying to get all the momentum out of that berm, but that's Leclerc for you.
That is Leclerc for you indeed, as Carter down at a second. OJ's the finish line jump, lands off the track, and an immediate legs off crash for him. He's going to get going now behind the 64 here of Austin Bear, Robert Wilson, and Matthias Janis.
Janis, actually.
Oh, Robert Wilson with an absolute death endo off the triple. Huge crash for the 98. Moves Janis up into second. Carter now back into third. And Bear slides back to fourth.
You definitely cannot refund that ticket to Indonesia. I am sorry, Wilson.
Everybody buying a ticket tonight. This track is coming up and biting him. All right, so behind that is now Chase Blakely on the 99. Jet Wisdom also on the 99. I think he's actually number 403, though. He's just using his teammate's bike, and down he goes as there's our first sighting of Lang. I think that was Devin Davis. No, excuse me, Fjellberg on the 28, I should say. Oh!
That was Colby Eaglin getting sideways there and just not able to pull it back.
Eaglin getting tossed off the side of the track, and he is going to get going now behind Jet Wisdom, who went down at the beginning of that straightaway. And now Reed Young goes down and almost takes the 39 of Caden Speck with him. Everybody's crashing. Doesn't even matter, it's the 450 class. Everybody's hitting the ground.
I'm not sure if he's live on Twitch right now, but Ethan Parks just went by that little crash there from Reed Young.
Tell you who might be live on Twitch, though, is Adam Holm here. atom.com #2 is buried in traffic, and he's always a good watch as well, whether you're watching Ethan Parks over on our twitch.tv/startyoursystems TV channel, or Adam Holm, I think, which is just twitch.tv/atom. It's in the midst of a heavy-duty battle here with Caleb Hall, Magnus Hastrup right there as well, Robert Wilson just in front of him, Jacob Hubbard. Everybody jockeying for positions, and Holm just right in the thick of it all.
Oh, Hubbard a little bit off the track. He's going to give up a position to Wilson. Now Holm going to try to be the next rider to get around him.
Absolutely insane to see the power difference these 450s have compared to the 250s, though, as the 450s over jumping the triple quite easily, having to check up not to do it. And the 250s, only a handful of guys even going for the triple. Looked like he's going to catch Hubbard there, and then Hubbard ended up jumping almost onto the back of Robert Wilson, so they're kind of yo-yoing here a bit.
Yeah, Wilson's starting to catch his teammate Blakely just in front of him, so just turning into perhaps a four-way battle for 6.
Rider down out of this corner. That was Lang.
That was Lang.
Now he finds his way into the midst of this battle, so it's Lang side by side with Hubbard, Holm off the back. The BPC teammates are exchanging spots. Blakely and Wilson nose to tail. We got 5 riders going through the first corner together here.
Oh, getting close between Hubbard and Lang. But Lang ain't going to be able to make the pass there around the outside. So that will push him back up to 7th. And now we may have 6 riders in this fight. Caleb Hall starting to catch up to Adam Holm here right at the back of this train.
Yeah, basically 6 riders in the air together at the same time as well. Off of that double. Blakely to the outside. It's going to get Wilson. Lang trying to get around the outside of Wilson as well. As up the inside comes Hubbard. Lang's going to try to split the gap. Almost 3 wide as Dooley's off the finish line jump for sure. As Lang now mixed in between these two BPC Yamaha riders. Off the triple they go. Low line there for Wilson. Puts his teammate Blakely on the ground.
Wow.
Lang was off the track. Gets passed by Holm and Hubbard. Gets back on behind them. And there's going to be a meeting in the BPC semi after this. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that Discord tonight.
And almost instant karma as Wilson goes off the track.
So Holm goes by. Here comes Lang to the outside. He will go through as well. Lang quadding into the rollers. Almost got around Holm. All right, so resetting things for just a second. It is Leclerc still leading this one with a little under 23 minutes still to go. Braden Carter there in second. Matthias Janis runs third. Austin Bear is fourth, but perhaps not for long. Here comes Adam Holm trying to get alongside of him.
Got a good drive. Down into the first turn they go. And Holm is going to take the line away, so that will push him up to 4th.
Bear was trying to keep it on around the outside as long as he could, but Holm just enough to get to the inside and make that pass stick. Bear's not out of the woods just yet, though, because Tyler Lang is coming with Adam Holm. They're trying to freight train their way towards the front of the field here. And Bear sandwiched.
He needs to make these positions happen if he doesn't want to lose that many points to Leclerc, because as of right now, it would be a 10-point loss for the Underground RC rider, so he's really got to get moving here. As he makes the move on Bear there.
Oh, Holm down on the finish line jump.
Whoa!
And he is sliding. That is a lengthy fall-off crash. Crashes and then rolls down the side of the jump. He's losing several positions. Fortunately, he did, I believe, hit the finish line jump, or did he?
Oh, no he didn't.
No, he didn't. And
losing positions.
Got to figure it out quickly. He is in the other section of the racetrack now. Holm is losing several positions.
He's dropping quickly. He's already almost outside the top 20.
How is he not realizing yet? Look at your pit board, son. He's losing more and more positions. Oh, this is gut-wrenching for Adam Holm. He is so far away.
He's out of the points.
He is so far away from the finish line jump now as well. He has got a beeline back over there, but he still doesn't realize it. He's just too focused on this battle. He plays in third person, and he's now figured it out.
I realize it now.
He's just turned around, and he's now going back to the finish line jump through all the fans here in the midsection of the track, trying to avoid the starting section. Oh, that could have ended badly there, crossing the track like that. He's got to turn around and safely re-enter the track now in 31st.
31st. And almost getting lapped by Leclerc, getting the blue flag at the moment.
Wow. Change of fortunes there for Holmes so quickly as he was battling his way in the top 5. Now he's 30th, going up to 29th here, and he's got a long road ahead of him to score some good points in this moto.
Leclerc off the track behind him, so that gap for the lead going to shrink a little bit.
Yeah, only maybe two and a half seconds in it between Leclerc and Carter, and a rider down just cost Leclerc a little bit of time as well.
Looking at the lap times between these two as Carter flirts with the edge of disaster there off the side of the track.
Leclerc getting around some lap traffic ahead, and there's another rider down getting up at the end of the section here. Is that perhaps Cade Matherly on the 100? Might be.
Have a look at that.
So Leclerc whips it in his face.
196 is Brock Bollinger getting a blue flag from Carter. And oh, that was close. Carter able to make the move.
Leclerc just got around Ethan Parks as well, so our leaders are slicing and dicing their way through lap traffic, and so far it looks like Adam Holm has stayed ahead of Leclerc, but it is not by much. Get a quick peek off of this jump right here as we look ahead. Here comes Adam Holm into the corner. There he goes, and then Leclerc right behind him.
Like he's got Chase Donovan right behind him in 26 there. Holm trying to make the move on Zach Fisher for 24. Just able to make it happen there.
Donovan went down in front of Leclerc, and it got dicey. Got another rider down.
Again.
That is Ethan Parks down. Carter's got to avoid him, so our leaders are avoiding lap traffic as they continue to crash right in front of them.
Leclerc continuing to extend that lead, is almost up to 8 seconds. Now up to 8 seconds on Braden Carter. So definitely slicing through the field much quicker than that of the Phil's KTM rider.
Oh, Holm just got a huge kick in front of Carter, but he is definitely now being put a lap down. And if you're Holm here, the best case scenario is to latch onto Carter and just try to weave through lap traffic with him and just make up as many positions as possible and hope that these guys work their way possibly up into the top 10 in terms of getting through lappers. A lot of time still left on the clock, so plenty of opportunity to do so, but you just got to stick with them and hope.
Just looking through the field here a little bit more. Lang has made his way up to 4th, so it would be a 7-point loss as opposed to the 10 that he had earlier. Trying to catch his teammate Janice in front of him, about a 6.5 second gap to him.
Yeah, and these two are absolutely lost compared to Leclerc and Carter out front. Big gap up to Carter. I think it's out over 20 seconds now by the looks of it.
24 seconds.
Yeah, 24. So just have to try to battle amongst each other for third perhaps, or maybe hope Carter implodes or maybe Leclerc implodes.
And he just did. Leclerc down off the side of the track.
So that can be enough for Carter, who's coming over the finish line jump right now as he lands just back in the background. Not enough
Under
just
2
yet.
seconds.
Oh, Carter. These guys, the angle we have of that camera angle, it looks like they're about to go right off the track, and then Carter just kind of like getting a skateboarder going down the edge of a half pipe, just folds into the corner. Oh, no, Carter down. And all that time gained on Leclerc when Leclerc crashed now goes right back out as Carter crashes himself. Janice
Right
getting
before
around.
Leclerc's crash.
Go ahead.
I just noticed that he ran his fastest lap of the race there, 1:39.2. Carter and pretty much everyone behind him not even able to dip under the 40, so just goes to show how well Leclerc has been handling the track other than that mistake.
Yeah, track is getting rougher as it goes, as mentioned, and Leclerc handling it very well so far. It's just so good in the sand is the Frenchman, and again, still busting that big double through the first corner.
Sheesh.
All right, let's take a little further peek back. We got DeSalle in 5th, Bear 6th, Caden Speck 7th, Chase Blakely runs 8th.
Speck off the track.
Regains.
Able to get back on quickly.
And Castellaneta there behind Blakely, so they got a battle perhaps brewing amongst each other. Just about to the halfway point of MXGP race number 1 here at the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Assen in the Netherlands.
Looks like Blakely's gonna make the move there. Oh, Castellaneta's still a second behind him. My mistake there. As Speck goes off the track a little bit. Gonna allow Blakely to catch up.
Tightening up for sure between these guys as now Blakely, when it looked like he might have to deal with some pressure from behind with Castellaneta, is charged up to Caden Speck. Has his eyes set on the 39 Phil Ski and Snowboard KTM rider.
Both of them hugging that inside to avoid that downed rider.
Oh, Big kick there for Spec after
Jeez.
finish line jump. Nice job corralling it together. Oh, he's going to short this, though.
Whoa! Almost landing on him is Blakely.
Blakely just falling out of the sky as Spec shorted and only double singled there. Ethan Parks going to lap down to these guys there on the inside. Blakely hopping through the rollers, and Castellaneta's still got a keen eye on these two ahead of him. Might actually be closing right back up to Blakely ahead just again. This is a section of the track it seems like Castellaneta has figured out.
Yeah, it seems like a strong point right there is the mechanics area. Right, goes down in front of them. All of them able to get by him.
Castellaneta might jump up the inside of Blakely here. Turns to the inside again, though, as Blakely just holds steady. Close battling here. Just outside of our top 5.
Castellaneta doing the double line. Closes right up to Blakely. Still not quite able to make the pass, but definitely applying that pressure.
Wise decision to Castellaneta not pushing the envelope to the outside and losing time. Just tucks in behind Blakely, and because of it, they are pushing themselves up to Caden Speck here. Turning into a 3-rider battle in a hurry.
Different lines here, and the fastest of this group is Castellaneta with a 44.5. And everyone else in front of him about a second slower.
Oh, Blakely got a kick coming out of that corner and lost a little bit of ground. Castellaneta sensing an opportunity, is very close there.
Oh, that was a mistake. They're faded to the outside a little bit too far. But still has Blakely and Speck in sight here as Blakely goes off the track, able to get back on quickly.
Speck just going to tuck in right behind him, or I'm sorry, Castellaneta, I should say, right behind Blakely there, and they are both still right behind Speck. They have closed right up onto the 39. And who is going to break first? Who's going to make the mistake? Blakely goes outside. They're going to be side by side. A little cross jumping. It hits Castellaneta and takes him down. That was a Blakely cross jump all the way through. Castellaneta, an unsuspecting victim on the left side of the track. But now Blakely has a bit of breathing space behind him and can focus on
by
Speck.
Bear as well. Bear made a mistake just in front of them. Beck able to get by. Blakely looking to do the same.
And this is very quickly turned into another 3-rider battle as Blakely down the inside of Bear is going to make it happen. Speck up to 6th. Blakely now 7th. And Bear slides back to 8th.
Yogi Designs rider looking to regroup.
The fun continues here at Assen, and they are still nose to tail before this battle gets outrageous as Carter just went down out of 2nd, but he will remain there. We'll go ahead and get a real quick top 20 rundown real quick in here, brought to you by atom.com as he's on the racetrack right now trying to work his way back into the top 20 is Mr. Adam Holm. Remind you to check out atom.com. That's AYETOM.com, and check out the music Adam's been putting out over there and his merch line to support his music career. And we appreciate him coming on board with the broadcast this year and providing those virtual laps at the start of the broadcast every night. Alexis Leclerc leads on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing #1 points leader and defending world champion out front here in the Netherlands. Braden Carter on the number 19. Phil's KTM runs in 2nd. It's 3rd right now for Matthias Janis on the Underground RC number 130. And 4th still behind him is Tyler Lang on that Underground RC number 4. Caden Speck runs in 5th, but he's in a battle with Bobby DeSalle. Bobby DeSalle on the team, Nami number 25, moves back into 5th ahead of Speck on that number 39. Phil's KTM in 6th. Austin Bear, the Yogi Designs number 64, is 7th. Braden Castellaneta on the number 12 Underground RC Cowie runs in 8th. Robert Wilson on the BPC number 99 runs in 9th. And Jacob Hubbard rounds out our top 10 currently on the Phil's KTM number 778. It's 11th now for Chase Blakely on Oh, I'm sorry, the actual number 99. Wilson was 98. 99 for Blakely on the BPC Yamaha. It's 12th here for Dennis Fjellberg on the Phil's KTM number 28. 13th is his teammate Devin Davis on the number 27. And 14th for Luke Magnetti, BPC number 13, just inside the top 15. Caleb Hall, the Underground RC number 45, runs 15th. Up to 16th now is Adam Holm on the atom.com number 2. 17th for Jet Wisdom on the BPC number 403. And right behind him in 18th is Magnus Hastrup on the EliteConcept.com ride. 19th for Liam Atkinson on the 241 CV gas off the side of the track. But he'll get on. And 20th, rounding out your points bank positions, is Cade Matherly on the Stance number 195. That is your top 20 rundown, brought to you by atom.com.
Just looking through the field here. Got a battle here for third as Lang has really caught Janice now. Looking to get by his teammate there, getting a few more points on Leclerc. Makes a move on the inside.
Yeah, that inside is just way too OP compared to the rest of the lines in that corner. And Janice missing it, having to go to the outside was pretty much the nail in the coffin for that pass as Lang gets it done. Battle's not done yet, though. Lang, a couple mistakes. Janice gets the front end lock on his teammate. Fortunate not to bang his head on the ground and have a fall-off crash. Remains fourth.
Probably yelling at him in the team chat right now.
Still very curious, Robert Wilson and Chase Blakely. I'd love to hear that team chat right now.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
There's
that
still
little collision there.
They're still close together. I wonder if there's a little bit of teammate on teammate crime coming up here in terms of payback. But now Blakely
gonna go down off the side of the track. Actually gonna get lapped here by Leclerc.
Wow.
So lapping into the top 10 now.
Leclerc absolutely on the move, and as you mentioned, now ahead of Jacob Hubbard as well, and Chase Blakely, and now just got around Austin Bear. Bear loses it in the final corner. Hubbard goes around him, and here comes Fjellberg.
So Bear from running inside the top 5, now possibly dropping outside the top 10. So look for him to try to get it together here before Fjellberg is able to make this move, like right here. Literally jumping right over him.
Big send. And Hubbard was down too.
There, Hubbard.
How about this, though, for Fjellberg? He's battling for positions inside of the top 10, a lap down a week after he won a moto at Matterley Basin. So just goes to show you the level of dominance Leclerc has right now as Fjellberg gets a kick there.
Better drive out of that corner for Dennis, though. Gonna get a little bit away from him, gain about 4 or 5 bike links.
Blakely was sneaking back into the picture, but just hit the deck, so Hubbard goes by, and to the outside goes Magnetti as well.
So things starting to fall apart for the fake 99.
I don't know who the real 99 is. It's like Slim Shady. Can somebody stand up, please? All right, Fjellberg gapping Bear a little bit. Peek ahead and see if we got any battles brewing. Seems like it's pretty stagnant out front. Leclerc coming up to lap number 16. Finished lap 15 this time by, and a little over 5 minutes still to go. He's got a 23-second lead, and he just lapped Robert Wilson in 7th.
Wow.
And Wilson is getting all kinds of sideways before the finish line jump. Here comes Castellaneta right on the back of Robert Wilson now. These guys battling with an atom.com number 333. That's a lapped rider there.
Oh, right behind these guys, getting dicey here as Fjellberg loses maybe 2 positions to Bear and Hubbard.
Shoot, Hubbard just absolutely threw it into the middle of the corner there. Got to the inside of Bear, got around Fjellberg. Now Fjellberg trying to fight back on Bear as Hubbard almost through the front door and Bear down. Sideways off the track.
Bear.
Here comes Luke Magnetti, though. Oh, and he goes down.
As we say that.
He had a huge drive down the outside of Fjellberg, and I think Fjellberg cutting back across the track may have just offset Magnetti's line enough.
Kick him right over, yeah. And now Fjellberg down in the following corner right after the mechanics area.
All these guys going down, and Austin Bear has now moved into 10th. And got to talk for a second about the fact that Adam Holmes only 14 seconds-ish behind this battle. He could still get a top 10 in this moto after missing the finish line jump for half a lap. If things fall his way.
31st, no less.
Yeah. Bear and Blakely side by side into the first turn. Blakely holds steady, but Bear is just trying to fight back so hard around the outside. This line's not going to work in his favor, though. Blakely, that inside is so good there.
That's the dominant line right there.
So Bear settles in behind and almost through the front door himself. Got Fjellberg and Magnetti, so this is still pretty tight-knit four-rider train for 10th. And now Bear high centers on the rut on the inside, so Fjellberg goes by and Magnetti also going to follow suit.
I don't think you can even call those ruts anymore. Look how tall they are. They're turning into berms.
On board with Holm into the final corner to see if he goes to this inside line. He does. And yeah, they're certainly quite deep. 43.8 for Holm last time by, 11 seconds behind Bear. And none of these guys are sub 50 right now. 55.9 for Magnetti last time by.
Bear just went down again into those rollers, so Holm gonna catch up quite a bit. And as I say that, he goes down off the side of the track. I keep cursing these guys, Dylan.
These guys are making us look bad because we start saying good things about them, talking about them, and they all are crashing immediately after that happens.
And then Holm just went down again, re-entering the track, so he's going to fall as he's stuck on this rut here. Still struggling to get going. There he goes. Now back to 16th.
So Holm had almost worked his way up to that battle for 10th. And has let it all wash away with a double fall off there in the corner. Now just has to try to get to either Caleb Hall or Devin Davis, or maybe Austin Bear if Bear has another crash or two in him.
Getting close there as looks like Tyler Lang is trying to lap Adam Holm at the moment, but Holm not exactly giving way. Now he does, right past the mechanics area.
Got Nathan Prin, who is, I believe, a lap down, sending it through these guys right now. Yeah, he's in 24th, but he is all over the place, jumping the double, flying off the track. Must be some frustration boiling over.
But he does have the fastest lap of the race right now, 1:37.8. So somehow able to get that lap through traffic. So hopefully he can get it figured out for the next moto.
Jumping over the top of Castellaneta right there. Jeez. Yeah, Prin can start out front next moto. That would be very, very fun. But right now, nothing really working in his favor, it seems. Hubbard and Fjellberg still locked together. They've lost ground to Magnetti up the road. And Magnetti, meanwhile, is trying to catch his teammate Blakely, and they're still behind Castellaneta.
And Castellaneta off the track now, so...
Oh, Magnetti! Oh! Underneath Castellaneta, as Castellaneta jump back onto the track. Second time we've seen a questionable track re-entry there in that corner tonight.
Gotta look at your mini-map. So these guys are coming through. Alright, the 30-minute mark has been passed, and Leclerc looks like...
He just went over the finish line jump, so he has still got... Well, maybe he did get the 2-lap board. It's going to be pretty close.
Maybe 3. Trying to estimate when he might have crossed it, but hard to say.
Oh, Robert Wilson just went down. Here comes Blakely.
Round 2 of this BPC fight. And this time involves their teammate Magnetti, so we'll see how this plays out.
Let's see if Wilson puts his teammate on the ground again. Coming back for some more.
Oh, almost landing on him.
Oh, this battle's getting hot and heavy. It's tough to tell who's who, 98, 99. But Blakely holds steady.
This is why you need to run your numbers in the races, guys.
I don't know. Is Blakely, is he 21? Is he 99? There's so much confusion.
It says 21 on his pit board.
Yeah. Oh, through the front door goes Wilson. And Magnetti goes by. Castaneda also going through. And Wilson gets up before Fjellberg gets there. Oh, yeah, so white flag just waved.
Yeah, white flag waving.
Leclerc must have just barely got the clock last time by.
Right there. The 42-second lead won't hurt it too much.
Yeah, it only hurts how far up the field he's lapped at this point, I guess. He has made it ahead of Speck in 6th and was pretty close, or maybe was even ahead of DeSalle, and now he's going to get ahead of DeSalle for sure. DeSalle just went down.
Just went down.
So there goes Leclerc.
Speck actually going to make the pass on DeSalle as he's struggling to get back onto his bike and onto the track again.
Yeah, so Speck now finds his way up to 5th, and Leclerc has lapped all the way into the top 5 here. Talk about a show of dominance in MXGP Race 1 here at Assen.
And I was wondering when this kind of ride-up from Leclerc would show up, considering his races in the past where he would win by such a large margin. And it looks like we may have just found it.
Bouncing his way through the first corners, still doubling out of the first turn as well. Just carrying so much speed that even when it looks like he's about to go over the bars, he's already passed the jumps that I think he'll crash on by the time he gets there.
Over the rollers one last time over this last double.
Gonna get it done again, and gonna extend that points lead over Lang by another 5 points. So that's crucial there as Leclerc brings it down, and Leclerc is your winner here. MXGP Race 1 at Assen.
Absolutely dominates the competition as Braden Carter's just going into the first turn area now, 45 seconds down. Looks like he will hang on to that number 2 spot.
Still fairly close for 3rd, perhaps, if Lang has another mistake. And Matthias Janis is still back there. 5th has already finished. Caden Speck crossed the line 5th. It was 6th for Bobby DeSalle. 7th, Chase Blakely. 8th, Luke Magnetti. 9th was Braden Castaneda. 10th for Robert Wilson. Fjellberg crosses the line 11th. Hubbard just getting up from a crash there in 12th. Austin Bear, Caleb Hall coming down the straightaway as well. Let's see who beats whom in this one. Oh, Hall with an absolute line and a half out of that corner. And Bear just a sitting duck as Hall goes by, but it's going to kind of come down to these last 2 corners.
Short on that double there.
Bear going to try inside, I think, here. Let's see. No, not going to get it done.
Enough.
Hall 13th, Bear 14th. Davis off the track there will get 15th. Adam Holm goes from 31st to 16th in this moto. Kyle Robb just got passed by Sean Hambrook for 17th. And Rob backflipping is going to go down, so he has got 18th, pretty locked up there. Matherly 19th, 2 laps down, and Magnus Hastrup 20th. So a couple guys scoring some points, but finishing 2 laps behind your leader.
These guys better go back to the drawing board quick for the second moto if they want any shot and even holding a candle to Leclerc. Not looking good right now for the competition.
Cuts her in. We'll take a look. Looks like Magnetti leapfrogged his teammate Blakely for 7th. And Fjellberg jumped past Wilson for 10th. Caleb Hall got around Austin Bear for 12th. And Jacob Hubbard, excuse me, for 12th. And then Devin Davis, Adam Holm, Sean Hambrook, Kyle Robb, Cade Matherly, and Magnus Hastrup. All right, let's get this
Those
correct.
are your first motos out of the way.
Indeed. Welcome back to In Studio here, round numeral quattro of the 2021 MXS Grand Prix World Championship. Kellen Brower. And on the line, we've got the KR Money.
Yep.
2 motos down, 2 motos to go. MX2 Race 2 coming up next. Megan Bradnick in chat says first top 20. I'm going to assume that is Sean Hambrook, I think, maybe, or I'm confused.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Magnus Hastrup? I don't know. But either way, congrats.
Yeah, solid ride.
All right. MX2 Race 2 coming up. What do you think, KR? Is this the night that Cooper Hunt gets it done?
I think it very well could be. He's got to execute the start in this one, though. Though he was able to make his way through the field with a bunch of mistakes throughout the top 5, top 10 there. Able to come away with the win. So let's see if he's able to replicate it here. Perhaps with a better start. Make his life a little bit easier. Or if Payson Johnson perhaps can regroup, get some of those points back. Or even Seth Shirley, Alec Horn, they were on the podium as well. Look for them to possibly have a say in how these overalls turn out.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very good race to watch. Looking forward to it, no question. Good to see Devin Davis, Braden Carter coming in. They both said, Davis said, holy Toledo, what a sketchy race. Braden Carter said that track is gnarly. It's the deep sands of the Netherlands. That'll reach up and get you. So they're both going to regroup and get ready for MXGP Race 2 coming up here in about 40 minutes. MX2 Race 2 coming up right now. Owen Reimer says, do you think Eli Tomac will win the championship this year? I don't believe he will. Even though he returned to a very strong form in the second moto at High Point, he's still 47 points down in the championship, and it's a pretty darn long haul to come back from. Even if he wins out, I mean, I guess if he wins every moto from here, he'll win the championship. But yeah, it's a huge hill to climb.
See that happening. I think there's just too much parity in the class now as well. Like, it's really become start dependent now.
Yeah. And it just seems like Roxon is back to somewhat of his old form, and Ferrandis is here to play, and there's like so many guys that can get in the mix and stop Tomac from winning all the motos or getting maximum points, and those guys will have their good weekends. I just think he's already too far down, in my opinion. But it is motocross. That's why we dropped the gate. Yeah, I get what people say about that logic of him leaving Cowie and he doesn't really care, but I mean, I don't really agree with that logic, because if Eli Tomac wants to retire and have just a lavish life and never have to lift a finger again and never have to work a day in his life again, he could have gone out and, you know, if he cared, if he wanted to care like you're saying he doesn't, he would have went out and made millions of dollars by winning a bunch of races in the championship this year. They get $1 million bonus for winning the championship. They get about $100,000 bonus for winning a national. So Ferrandis 3 rounds this year has made $250,000 probably by finishing on the podium and winning 2 nationals. So if you're Eli Tomac, you want to make that kind of money, and I think any of us would care about making that much money if we could. Even if we're leaving the team, even if we're going to a different team at the end of the year, I still would want my bank account pretty filled up by the end of the year, regardless of whether I care about Cali at that point or not. So,
yeah, simply put, you play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
Oh, man.
All right. MX2 Race 2 parade lap out there right now. Alec Horn was really strong in that first one. We're watching him here. See if he can replicate that success. Cooper Hunt looking for his first career overall win. Clawing some more points away from his teammate Payson Johnson, perhaps.
Horn doing the one thing I would not recommend doing on the warm-up lap, and that is leading it. Everyone, for those of you who don't know the rules of racing here, rule number 1, do not do good in warm-up. You will do bad in the race. Let's see if you can break the curse, Alec Horn.
Yeah, very, very true. There was always, I definitely rolled around on parade laps quite a bit to not break that rule. So I can feel that for sure. Alrighty, let's see who we're going to watch here off the start. MX2 Race 2 on the gate. Oh, somebody's already hopped. Payson Johnson's hopped the gate. Is there a red flag? No, there's not. Payson Johnson is a sitting duck. He is not going to get a good start in this one. He's going to be 15 seconds behind the field as we're off and running. Up the inside, Seth Carr trying to make it 2 for 2 on hole shots. Almost gets to the corner first. He's hugging the inside tight, and Carr will get the hole shot again. Jonathan Alexander right there in second on the 53 as the field funnels through, and Johnson still has now just left the gate.
So maybe the throttle housing or the hole shot device getting a little bit too antsy there, so he's going to have to work his way through the field.
That is incredible. So Carr leads, Tharp second. Looks like a replay of the first moto, minus Johnson being out front is a crash. I think that might have been Cochran going down back there. A lot of riders getting shuffled through. And I saw,
pitching around.
Yeah, Cooper Hunt moves up to 6th by the end of the first lap through all that shuffle. He's in a pretty good spot here early on. Especially seeing how consistent he's been. He's just got to avoid all this early chaos. Alec Horn's got a good start. The 164 of Chris Post is up here. They're all chasing Seth Carr, though.
Yeah, Seth Carr has been on it with his starts here tonight. See how much he's learned from leading a couple of laps in Moto 1.
Tharp getting a little sideways, going to allow Jonathan Alexander to close up, and to the outside, Alec Horn on Chris Post. They almost come to blows there as they go down by the mechanics area now. Oh, Alexander to the outside of Tharp.
Outside. Makes it happen.
And aside from your leader getting away, it's an absolute freight train in here as Post goes off the track and rejoins. You got 5, 6 guys in the air at one time off this table.
Hunt watching the action unfold in front of him to try to preserve his overall. As Post gets a little bit sketchy, Horn crossing the track in front of him. Different lines taking here, and Post will make the move on Horn to get into 4th.
Yeah, how about this start from Chris Post on the 164 Privateer life out here, but crushing it.
He was 12th in that first moto as well, so definitely an improvement. As he looks to try to get around Braden Tharp here, who also has a good start, just like that first moto.
Almost come together off the finish line jump there.
And I'm going back through the field a bit to see if we can find Johnson. And I'm finding him in 35th right now, so not making his way through the field as quickly as he would like to be. And also finding out that Alec Horn has fallen all the way to... timing and scoring is updating here, but he went invis for a little bit. So trying to find him again.
Yeah, he is. He's right here with this lead group, but yeah, he seems like timing and scoring is either not picking him up or something. Definitely having some internet issues. He's right behind Cooper Hunt still, though. And this is turning into a feisty three-way battle as Hunt has Post laying it over. Hunt just jumps off the track not to go down, and Horn takes advantage to sneak on through. Still nose to tail through these first couple of sections as Jonathan Alexander has gone to the lead, and just as he does, he goes down off the side of the track, and a lot of riders go by. There goes Hunt, and there goes Casey Cochran. That is Seth Shirley going through as well.
Apologies for my absence there a little bit. My internet kind of stuttered for a bit.
Uh-oh, you got the Alec Horn internet going on. Oh, and now that's Braden Tharp going down. So that promotes Seth Carr back to the lead. Hunt now into second. Post off the side of the track. He goes down. Horn goes by. There goes Cochran. Seth Shirley, Jonathan Alexander. Tharp also going through. And there also goes Blake Wickland on the 33, I think, or excuse me, the 13, the 513, I believe it is actually. Or the 113. He's running number one. He's number 13 on his skins, number 113 on his pit board. Jonathan Alexander, Seth Shirley, side by side. Alexander to the outside, and they're still side by side. Who's going to get the drive down the mechanics area? Oh, Alexander's getting Swap City. Backflips, fakies into the crowd. And down he goes. So Shirley goes on by, as does Tharp. And you got Cochran, Horn, Hunt just up the road, but it's Seth Carr leading once again here in Assen.
Looking at the overall tally right now, Hunt would have it with a 1-2. Got some pressure from Horn, though.
Yeah, Alec Horn third in that first moto. Would definitely like to have a shot at winning this overall today. And Cooper Hunt, the man standing between him and that overall win right now.
Oh, Cochran going to go down in the final corner there. Let Seth Shirley and Braden Tharp go by.
Oh, Cochran trying to get it turned around, hopping all the ruts. Wickland and Frank Jackson coming down. Then Cavacuti, Alex Kerr, Jonathan Alexander, Carson West, Chris Post. Still, everybody's so interlocked together here. Oh, Post. What a save.
Gonna get going right behind, looks like Tyler Blauer is here. So that's 14th for the 164 there.
Now Blauer's a mistake, and Post right back by.
Right back by him.
So as their battle continues, Blauer's going to settle in here at the end of the straightaway. Look up ahead, we've got Cochran, Alexander, Alex Kerr, all nose to tail. Cochran's going to go up the inside of Alexander. Shut the door there.
Running room there.
Shirley was down.
Shirley down on the inside.
So he gets the ship righted and continues on now behind Carson West.
Remember, Shirley was second in that first moto, so he's in contention for this overall as well as the podium as well. So definitely going to want to get back up there.
Tight battling throughout the entire top 10 right now. It's still Seth Carr leading though, and battle for second kind of brewing here. Alec Horn is all over Cooper Hunt, just relentless.
Similar lap times as well. 148 for both of them. Horn a tad quicker though.
Horn goes for the triple.
Goes for the triple.
Oh! Almost landed on the back of Hunt and then had to jump off the track there a little bit.
I still say that was a good move, though. Wanted to try out that line. See how much he could gain off of it. Still not losing that much time, and in fact, this battling is starting to lead them up to Seth Carr. The gap is under 2 seconds now. So we could have a three-rider fight for the lead brewing.
This is definitely going to get good here in a hurry. Seth Carr trying to hold on to this race lead. Carr 7th in the first moto. So not a factor right now between these two for the overall victory. It's really down to Hunt versus Horn. And Horn is hoping to get around Hunt and Carr and then keep Carr between himself and Hunt. And that would give him the overall win if he could go 3-1 here today versus the 1-3 out of Hunt. That is his goal at the moment. Been talking earlier tonight about Payson Johnson and how big of a gap he has. And as Carr goes down, Seth Carr gives up the lead. It's going to go to Hunt now, who is in his position to go 1-1. And as we were talking about with Payson Johnson having an insurmountable lead, it seemed like already in this championship, Hunt is provisionally going to go into the points lead as they run. We go back and find
Johnson is in 33rd right now.
Johnson way back here. And with Hunt in the lead, it was 18 points provisionally after the first moto. Now another 25-point swing goes in the favor of Cooper Hunt, who would now take a 7-point lead in the championship if it finishes like this. And Johnson is still just maniacally charging, trying to get into the points.
Also for Hunt, who would have thought that his first career win here would be a 1-1 sweep if things keep going this way? Long way to go still, but definitely looking up for the number 20 here.
On board with Johnson as he's still trying to work around Ryan Swanson here in the back. Gonna get down to the inside and make that move, launching it out. Next up, Christopher McPherson. And giving an indication of where 20th is. They are hitting the triple right now, which is still 5 sections or 5 corners or so ahead of Johnson. He's got a long road ahead of him here.
Oh, update up front. We got a change for the lead. Alec Horn now in that number 1 spot. Hunt has dropped to 3rd. And that would actually change the overall because Carr is in between Hunt and Horn, like you were saying. So a 3-1 would beat a 1-3.
Yeah, I wonder if Hunt maybe went down under the pressure Horn was applying. And now he's got to regroup and try to get back around Seth Carr, but also be wary that there's still a group of riders coming behind him in case he goes down again. Frank Jackson, Dylan Cavacuti, you got Braden Tharp right in the mix. And then a 3-rider battle, Blake Wickland, Casey Cochran, and Chris Post as Cochran slides right through.
Post looking to do the same, right up this inside line. Nope, gonna fade wide.
Oh, Post up the inside of Wickland in the last turn there. Just
wow.
Absolutely
Doolies.
laid it into the corner. Then Doolies, like you said, over the finish line jump.
Gonna try to go after Cochran next, just in front of him. And as I say
Whoa! Post slides out. Wickland hits him. Then Post gets up and wheelies.
Uh-oh.
Now here comes Alex Kerr into the mix on the 52. Up the inside, easily done on Post after a mistake. And these riders are just constantly swapping positions. We'll peek back out front and see we got some things tightening up here. Seth Carr dealing with some pressure from Cooper Hunt. Nygren going down in the background on the 50. Look at this line from Hunt
to
the outside, turns to the inside here.
Connect.
And it's still side by side. Carr to the outside gets a better drive through the section though.
And he's gonna beat him to this inside line.
Oh! How did Cooper Hunt stay on the bike? Took a wheel to the head, then buried him into the ground and still stayed on 2 wheels. Moves up into second and back into the position for the overall win. As Frank Jackson now moves to third. Seth Carr side by side with Dylan Cavacuti for fourth. Oh, Cavacuti lays it over and Carr goes by. Now here comes Cochran getting into the mix. Oh, some crossing lines there in the background.
So with Hunt in second now, that would change the overall back into his favor. I don't think he's done yet. He's trying to chip into that lead that Horn has.
Just over 5 seconds up to Alec Horn. And yeah, if Cooper Hunt can go 1-1 today, that would be massive for him, but also massive for the points implications. We'll still have to keep a keen eye on to where Payson Johnson ends up in this moto. And Cooper Hunt might leave here with a red plate.
Yeah, I just looked back. Johnson trying to make the move for 28th right now. So still outside the points as we're closing in on that halfway point.
Got to change for second, though. Hunt just slid out. Frank Jackson went by, and then Jackson pirouetted. Somehow stayed on 2 wheels, but allowed Seth Carr back through for third. So Hunt goes back into second. He momentarily lost that spot. The battle for third is on.
To say Seth Carr brought it for this second moto is, I would honestly say, an understatement. He has got the pace of these guys, right up there battling.
Yeah, and in the background, his teammate Cavacuti is going after Casey Cochran right now. So 2 different battles going on pretty much at the exact same time here. 1 for third and 1 for fifth. Oh, Cochran blows the corner and goes down. So Cavacuti does move into fifth, and now the Underground RC Cowies are sandwiching Frank Jackson.
Maybe not for long. Jackson has a line here on the inside. No, is Carr able to carry that drive around the outside, make it work?
Jackson definitely looks feisty here, though, just trying to wait for his opportunity to open up and make a pass here on Seth Carr. Still see Cooper Hunt's helmet bouncing ahead at the end of the straightaway there. They're not too far off of the man in second. And Cavacuti is catching this group in a hurry. He is already almost on the rear tire of Frank Jackson.
Well, Jackson mistake going into that rut.
Oh, Cavacuti
gonna case that table a little bit though.
Definitely did lose a little bit of ground there. Now crosses lines up, ends up inside of the anthill in the second turn there. A little cheeky off-track line might come down to cuts later on in the race if he's close with somebody. But trying to use it to his advantage to keep it close to Frank Jackson after a small mistake there.
This is a good line down the inside.
Side by side. Is he going to get the drive through the end of the straightaway? Jackson is trying to fight back. Oh, Cavacuti down.
Might have had it saved there.
Tried to scrub the sand double and got kicked over the bars and went long. Recipe for disaster there. And Jackson holds steady, so Carr remains third.
Wait a minute, we haven't changed for the lead.
Horn must have just went down because he's just getting rolling over that jump. And Cooper Hunt is back to the front. So another change here. And, ooh, mistake, Seth Carr down. Seth Carr down, and that is going to promote Frank Jackson into third. Payson Johnson is still 32nd in the race right now. So this is an absolute disaster. I'm so confused as well because it doesn't seem like this was a problem that Payson Johnson would have based on his first moto pace. You'd think he'd be able to kind of steamroll his way into points at least.
Yeah, definitely a weird turn of events for your points leader. Not looking to be the case after this race the way it's going right now.
And
he just launches past Christopher McPherson there.
And to think at the beginning of the night we were talking about whether or not Johnson was in a position to just start running away with this thing, and he might not even leave here with the points lead as the battle for the lead is on. Cooper Hunt and Alec Horn almost side by side. This is not going to determine the overall if positions change, but it will give Alec Horn an elusive first career moto win, doubling down on Hunt's first career moto win in the last one. Both guys entering tonight having never won a moto, never won an overall, and they're the two battling for the overall and the second moto win right now.
Who would have thought that we could have potentially two first-time winners here, provided that Horn makes the pass. Oh, lap rider.
That's Horn's teammate, Ryan Pinkerton, on the 395. Horn seems like he's got some sections of the track that are working for him, and Hunt might be just inching away slightly in others.
Yeah, a bit of a yo-yo effect going on. Not for long. Horn dive down into that corner. Looks like he has him right where he wants him. Just a matter of planning out this pass. He can get right up to that rear tire.
Yeah, the real question is, does he have a spot already picked out that he likes for that pass? As he makes a bit of a mistake. He clips his elbow on the inside rut there. Kind of high centers him for a second, but a nice job to crowd together, and he's still right there.
Laps rider trying to stay out of the way here of Hunt. And let this lead battle go on. Both of them get by him.
Whoa! Horn down.
There it goes.
Almost over the bars. Lands sideways. That's all she wrote. Frank Jackson back through and into second place. So how about Frank Jackson creeping into the picture here? I don't think he actually scored a point in the first moto. No, he was way down the order, I think.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing him in that top 15.
Was he even out there?
I'm wondering if he even scored points in that one. So regardless,
no,
it's an
21st. 21st of the first moto for Frank Jackson.
So one spot out. But yeah, definitely came to play here in this moto.
So could he close this gap down on Cooper Hunt, and we would have yet another opportunity at a first-time winner. All these guys out front, including Cavacuti and Rasmus Balzer now into the picture as well.
Literally everyone in the top 10 would be their first career moto win if they were to take it. Just going to be a matter of who.
Casey Cochran, Seth Carr's fallen a little further back. Seth Shirley's still back here with Blake Wickland. Jack Gatland running in 10th. You got Chris Post 11th, Jonathan Alexander 12th. Colton Hansen is 13th, Neil Fitzpatrick 14th alongside Braden Tharp. Carson West, Alex Kerr, Jeremy Estrella, Oscar Manias, and Adrian Wilson are your point scorers right now. So let's go back and we find Payson Johnson now 25th, and he's about 2 corners behind points right now. He's got 7.5 minutes left, plus 2 laps to try to make this happen, try to score some points. He's putting in some great laps right now in the 47s. 45 flat is his best. I don't think anybody else ahead of him is even sub 50 right now.
Only question is, did that charge come too little too late? He's not going to get a lot of points in this moto from the looks of things.
Tell you what, too, Rasmus Balzer is on a charge. He is running very similar times, actually, to what Johnson is doing down the field, but he's doing it while in 4th and moving forward and potentially knocking on the door for a podium here with the leaders not too far ahead of him.
Yeah, only less than 3 seconds actually to Jackson. Oh, and Horn gonna go down in second right in front of him.
There is
Jackson back up in second.
Horn laying in the middle of the track there as Balzer goes by.
Now Jackson off the track.
Balzer up into second. There's 15 seconds between our leader, Cooper Hunt, and Rasmus Balzer in second. Balzer was a little bit slower than Hunt last time by, so Hunt picking up his pace as well now, having gone to the lead.
Oh, and Horn down again. So he's gonna drop, looks like to 5th or 6th. Cochran making his way to that section now. And he will make that past 6. So Horn drops from 2nd all the way back to 6th after being in contention for this moto win. Oh, mistake by Rasmus. Right at that tabletop. Jackson and Kawakute get by.
And they're actually
Jackson making the move on Kawakute.
Tight battle between each other, kind of going to force Balzer back into discussion here rather quickly as they deal with each other. Into this first corner, 3 riders practically nose to tail. Balzer carrying so much speed around the outside. Nothing in it between these 3 right now, though. Jackson, Kawakute, Balzer. Balzer's going to get a great drive here as those 2 almost run into each other.
Look at them all in the air at the same time. Balzer with a big scrub. Different lines here around the outside. Can he get the 2 for 1?
Balzer absolutely shredded the outside of the corner there.
Wow.
Makes the pass, and now Kawakute trying to get down the inside of Jackson and not lose touch with him. But Balzer back into second again. That was some pass there by the motorsport.com number 50. And Jackson still dealing with that pressure. Kawakute going to try to go up the inside. Not enough. So time is definitely winding down here in MX2 Race 2. Cooper Hunt almost certainly is going to get the overall win at this point. But it's a matter of will he go 1-1 and will he leave here with the points lead. Payson Johnson is up to 21st. He's 5 seconds off of points right now as we continue to watch this battle for third. Kawakute losing a little bit of ground now to Jackson.
Down he goes.
And he takes Kawakute with him, but Kawakute stays on 2 wheels.
That's going to allow Alec Horn to catch up, who was quite a bit down from this group earlier. Now going to almost make the move on Jackson here.
Now he goes down.
I say that.
Seems like a lot of riders disconnected right here. I'm seeing a lot of ghosts. So there's just nothing but lappers here behind Horn. He is still going to be behind Jackson, but ahead of Carr. Casey Cochran, then Colton Hansen, Blake Wicklund. I want to go back and see where Johnson is and if he's gotten into points yet or not. He is now 19th.
Yes, 19th.
And flying still, 45.5s. Definitely seems like he's kind of figured out who he is again and really turned it back on here, but it still might not be enough. He is going to need to pick up 7 points in this moto.
Anais just went down in front of him, so that will be another position. So that's 18th.
So if Johnson can...
16 seconds down from post, who's 17th.
If he can get to 14th, he will leave here tied with Cooper Hunt in the points. Otherwise, Hunt is your points leader. And Johnson has a long ways to climb, as you mentioned, still 14 seconds down of 17th. And 14th is going into the final turn right now. It's Neil Fitzpatrick. Johnson is, give or take, 20 to 25 seconds behind that.
He's gaining about a second each corner, really. He's already ticked off about 3 seconds. Making up time quickly. But will time be on his side?
.46.3, scrubbing everything, pushing so hard. Of course, the risky runs here by doing this is crashing, but at this point, it's all or nothing. He doesn't want to get lapped. He doesn't want to lose more points.
Launching it into that corner there.
Gonna get a spot here.
Make a move on Jeremy Estrella here. So that's 17th. Next rider up his post, and he's about 7 seconds down from him.
Man, it's crazy to just look at his pit board right now and see the chunks of time going down to riders ahead of him and how fast he's going. He's pushing the envelope so hard on this track.
And just pulling in the clutch right there to prevent himself from going over that rut. You'll see a few of these guys utilizing that strategy.
Oh my
just going
gosh.
into the rollers now as he launches it into that section there.
It doesn't even look like he's riding the same track as everybody else. It's insane.
What he runs this time by, I feel like is going to be an absolute burner of a lap. Oh, a little mistake there.
45.3. In these conditions, no less. And he's up to 16th now.
Yeah, just got around Braden Tharp, who was down in the corner.
And 14th is not too far away, and he could still get even higher than that as time has now expired. Our race leader, Cooper Hunt, is coming into the last turn.
Across the finish line, so 2 more laps to go in this thing.
It's still Hunt from Balzer. Balzer has tried desperately to close this gap down. 49.9 last time by, 10.6 seconds. He just did a 50.3 to a 50.6, so he's a little bit faster, but he's just not getting enough time.
Oh, getting taken off the track by a lapper, though.
Looks like it was
contact.
One of the 2-win. It looks like actually Oscar Manias on that 2-win KTM, and Manias just went down right after that. Balzer continues on still in second. Cavacuti back here in third.
Oh, Jackson getting taken down. Well, running in fourth. That might cost him a position here to Carr. Yes, it will.
So Seth Carr now slides through up in a P4. 23 seconds down, though, the guys ahead. Frank Jackson was kind of bridging that gap, but now it is pretty far apart.
And in fact, Carr just went down on that triple section. So Jackson going to make his way back past him. Casey Cochran going to close in as well.
Tharp must, or excuse me, Johnson must have gone down. He's back to 17th again, and the group he was catching rather maniacally is now a little bit further ahead of him, as they're all about to get the 2-lap board too. They have not been caught and lapped yet by Cooper Hunt, so this is still 2 laps for Johnson to make something happen here. He's pushing the envelope on that Covenant Honda.
I want to say he's about 11 to 12 seconds down to where he needs to be to hold on to this red plate. They're just going into the rollers right now, a section ahead of him. Oh, Johnson sideways, and down he goes.
Oh, again for Payson Johnson, and this might be the nail in the coffin for the points lead. Those red backgrounds on that Covenant Honda might be switching over to his teammate's bike next week as a white flag is waving, and Cooper Hunt might be on the way to his first ever overall win in Race Factory Gaming competition, and he's going to do it the only way you want to do it. 1-1 here at Assen, here on the final lap.
Holding on to an 11-second lead on Balzer. Still continuing to push the envelope, but time is running out in this moto quickly, as Hunt has about half a lap remaining.
Yeah, Balzer at this point just has to be banking on the fact that Hunt still might run into some troubles, whether it's trouble with lap traffic or a slight mistake in his own right. You just got to keep that gap within reason. Oh, cross jump for Balzer. And he's down.
Aw.
Cavacuti was also down, so that is going to end the chance that Balzer had to maybe catch Cooper Hunt here. And this is clean sailing to the flag for Cooper Hunt. What a night this has been.
Yeah, on his way to his first career overall win and the red plate possibly as well. What a way to do it for the Covenant Rider.
It's been one heck of a year for Cooper Hunt, as well as he has definitely put his name at the front of the field where it wasn't quite just there yet last year. He is a perennial front runner, and now he is going to be a winner as he comes through the final corner. Cooper Hunt brings it down, and he wins the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Assen.
1-1 sweep as well. Nice job.
It's going to be Balzer who comes through and finishes second in this moto.
Nice underflip across the finish line there.
Third will be Dylan Cavacuti. He was 8th in the first one. So it's likely he is just going to miss the podium. And Frank Jackson. Remember, Jackson outside of the points in the first one. So these overalls are going to be all over the board. You have Seth Carr coming down.
Yeah, Seth was 7th in that first moto, improving upon his finish. For 5th place here. Through the final corner he goes.
Casey Cochran.
Over the finish line in the top 5.
Yeah, 5th in the first moto, 6th in this one. So consistent day. Somehow 5-6 might end on the podium. Colton Hansen ends up ahead of his teammate Alec Horn. So Horn, he goes 3-8 on the day.
So he will tie with Cavacuti there, but Cavacuti will break that tie with a 3rd.
On the outside goes Blake Wickland into 9th for the 113 machine, who is 15th in the first moto. Neil Fitzpatrick ends up 10th. Seth Shirley, 2nd in the first one, ends up 11th, and these overalls are ridiculous at this point. Jonathan Alexander, 12th in this one. Tharp, 13th. Carson West into the final corner is going to get 14th here. Chris Post in 15th. Jack Gatlin back here, he is in 16th, trying to hold off Payson Johnson for one more corner. Up the inside.
Regardless.
Johnson charging to the flag, just going to fall short. But he does get Gatlin on cuts for 15th, which
he gets
means
15th on cuts.
Yeah, which means there's only a 1-point difference in the championship. Cooper Hunt does indeed take over the championship lead. Johnson loses the red plate, but there's only 1 point in it. And after entering tonight 25 points up, what a turn of fortunes that is for Payson Johnson. Incredible, incredible night of racing. A lot of cuts actually changed some results here. Let's see, we had, looks like the 310 of Alec Horn jump into 7th around his teammate Colton Hansen. Seth Shirley jumped into 10th around Neil Fitzpatrick. And Johnson leapfrogged Gatland and Chris Post to get to 15th. And, of course, Jeremy Estrella, Adrian Wilson rounded out our top 20 back there as well. What a night of racing in this MX2 class, though, and many, many congratulations to Cooper Hunt on his first career overall victory. The number 20 Covenant machine getting it done in the deep sands of the Netherlands.
And my brain is full of mush to find out these top 3 overalls like I usually do. Thankfully, Hunt made the math easy on me. Let's see, Shirley going 210, Horn going 37.
Yeah,
this is not quick math hours.
This is not quick math at all. 3-7, that would be 20 points and 14 points.
34.
And then 210 would be 22 points and
that would be
11 points.
33, yeah.
Jeez.
Three, 34.
I think somehow Horn and Shirley, maybe Cavacuti, I mean, they're all right there in points.
I think it's looking like Hunt, Horn, and Shirley in top 3.
Hey, shout out to Games Joaco for the sub. Not sure if you're watching right now, but thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Oh, my goodness. What a race this has been so far tonight. Back in booth, Kellen Brower. Joined, of course, by the man, the myth, the legend, KR Money.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you on board. If you guys are interested in checking him out, please be sure to check out First Turn Films on YouTube and twitch.tv/KR-Money. And he live streams basically everything I don't. So that's pretty much everything, because I only live stream like 2 things a week and he live streams like a billion. So if you're looking to check yourself out on the broadcast.
Mainly known for the Amateur Nationals, which is actually on Sunday nights. So if you're looking at riders who maybe aren't as godlike as Johnson or Leclerc, check a race out or 2. Also, do the European side of things, EU races take place on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I plan to do those as well. And once EMF competition kicks up again, and I believe July, I will be doing those races as well. So
he's literally the
like
everyman.
Literally the jack of all trades. So
TK1111 wants to know, IRL, do you like outdoor nationals or supercross? I personally prefer nationals over supercross. There's nothing wrong with supercross. It's a great sport platform for our sport as well. And obviously it's kind of the money maker of our sport, but I still feel like the technical ability and the real kind of like raw speed and actual talent is more on display in outdoor motocross. Like, those guys all grow up racing motocross for 15 years of their life and then have to learn supercross once they turn pro, basically. But motocross, like, these guys do it from a young age and they're all so damn good at it. So it's for me, I just have more fun watching outdoors just because of the technical abilities of the guys out there.
I would have to agree with that statement. Definitely feel like the real rider comes out of you when you race motocross as opposed to supercross. I definitely feel like a skill set that you have to learn, and it brings out different strengths, if you will, but I gotta say, a real man ride motocross.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. MXGP Race 2 on the gate, the final moto here of the night from Assen, round 4 of the 2021 Race Retro Gaming Grand Prix Championship in MX Simulator. Round 4 of 12, that is. And if you've been watching our bottom board across the screen all night long, of course, we have the MX Simulator Southwick National coming up later this week on Wednesday, so you definitely won't want to miss that. And then, of course, the MXS Grand Prix of, I forget where we're going next. I'm not sure if it's Belgium. No, it might be Italy, actually. I think it's the week of Redbud. It's coming up right now, though. Yeah, July 5th is when we'll be back for the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Italy on July 5th, and then Redbud on July 7th. You won't want to miss all of that. We're still waiting for somebody to load in here.
We're getting word that Bobby DeSelle is the rider that we're waiting on, and oh, he just got in.
Wow. So Bobby DeSelle makes it in, but here we go. We are ready to drop the gate here. MXGP Race 2 at Assen. Who's going to get the jump and lead us into turn 1? Looks like up the inside might be Hubbard. Hubbard on the 778. Around the outside, it's going to be Carter.
Again.
Braden Carter, race tag, whole shot, but he's almost going to go down. A big swap through the second corner, and to the lead goes Nathan Prynn, who is putting in some of the best laps of the moto while a lap down last time out. Let's see if he can lead him through here early on. He's got fellow Frenchman Leclerc coming up alongside of him down the first straightaway.
Dualies!
Leclerc tries to go inside. Prynn goes defensive. They both stuff it into the corner.
Out of the way.
Into the
Leclerc's
inside.
gonna have the better exit.
Leclerc to the lead. Prynn funnels into second behind him. Lang, a much better start this time, is in third. You got Hubbard fourth, Carter fifth right there, as well as everybody funnels in after the first lap. So Leclerc, Prynn, Lang. Prynn and Leclerc starting to open up a small gap on the rest of the field, and something tells me Nathan Prynn would love to get around his countryman here and try to get this lead wrangled away from him.
Well, he's got a good drive around that outside.
Wow.
Checks up a little bit.
Both of them trying
to keep that in mind.
Both of them trying to triple out off of that single. Leclerc gets it clean. Prin does not. And because of that, Lang was able to close that gap down a little bit. He's bringing Hubbard with him. Lang off the track.
Oh, Lang off the track.
Hubbard through. Carter by. Oh, tough track
re-entry
re-entry
by Lang.
These guys all trying to get on the outside of that corner. I think they're maybe just better to hug the concrete and try to get on before the table, in my opinion. But they're all trying to just get on as quick as possible. And it's killing them. Oh,
we got
big
a stack
crash.
up here on the inside. Includes Hubbard and Carter, so they're going to drop back to this battle here.
Yeah, it looked like Caleb Hall was in the mess there as well. A few others mixed in. And that allows, oh my goodness, a big flock of riders coming through that first corner. But it's Speck now behind Prin in second. Holm now up to fourth. And Atkinson, Rockefeller, Hall, Hubbard, Wisdom, Janice, Hambrook, all in a freight train right behind them.
Got a couple of new faces here in the top 5. We got Liam Atkinson, Aaron Rockefeller making an appearance here. As they duke it out to get it into the top 5 here. Rockefeller going to make the move there on the Connect Visual Rider. That will put him up to 5th.
Atkinson's still right on his tail though, and then it's got to deal with Caleb Hall. Jacob Hubbard. Oh, big crash. They're all coming in. Everybody going down. Lang able to skirt all through the damage, and there's still more riders coming in. This is a tough scene.
Jump there.
It's a bloodbath after the triple, and everybody's now finally getting rolling. Actually, one more rider still made contact.
So Hall gonna drop from 7th all the way to looks like 26th there.
Tough scenes right there. But Lang, the big beneficiary of that after losing several positions, able to slide through, and now he's in 7th behind Jet Wisdom. We also had a change for position up in 2nd. Prin, I'm sorry, not Prin. Holm got to 3rd around Caden Speck, it looks like. So Speck dropped a spot back to 4th, and now has Rockefeller right behind him.
Remember, in that first moto, Holm was up there inside the top 10, but missed the finish line, or a timing gate near it, and it caused him to fall all the way back to 31st as he makes the move on Prin, who was down on that straightaway, so he's up to 2nd. But yeah, like I was saying, he fell back to 31st in that first moto after missing a timing gate. Was able to come back for, I believe, 16th in that moto, so much better performance here. Looking to keep it on the track this time.
Prin trying to hug tight on the inside. Speck going to the outside, turns into the inside here. Rockefeller now side by side with Speck over the finish line jump. Kind of dualies. They weren't side by side per se, but close.
Oh, Rockefeller not able to triple. They're going to lose a bit of ground as Lang makes the move on Wisdom, who goes down casing that triple.
Yeah, there looked like there was almost going to be contact in the air as Wisdom went to seat bounce and kind of cross-jumped over to Lang. So that is going to allow Devin Davis and Luke Magnetti by. Wisdom gets going still right behind them and ahead of Matthias Janis.
Look at the field here as Davis goes down out of 7th, I believe. So he's going to drop, looks like outside of the top 10 now as he gets going ahead of his teammate Fjellberg. And now Bear going down off the side of the track, so they'll gain a position back.
It's a war of attrition here in Assen in the Netherlands. Here comes Castaneda on Davis, so he is flying in the early runnings of this one. Got around him. Now going to work on Dennis Fjellberg. Castaneda was 9th in the first moto.
Oh, going long on that table a little bit.
So they continue their battle. Meanwhile, Lang is all over Caden Speck right now.
This is your fight for 4th. Lang needs more points. Leclerc up front like this.
Yeah, trying to limit the damage here. Leclerc has already done it in the first moto, gaining 5 more points against Lang. It's now to a provisional 10-point lead. Lang almost contact there. Has to short the triple.
They're going to have to go back to work here to close that gap and plan out another pass attempt. This time, make it stick. And I like that line that they're doing into these rollers as Lang makes the move right around Spec there.
And then launches out into the rollers, 4 in there.
Jeez.
So Lang is on the move right now, and Prin, meanwhile, has caught back up to Adam Holm for second. Holm a little short on the table. Prin's going to try to go outside to in here. Doesn't quite work, but the battle is definitely on for this 2 spot.
In terms of the overall, it's going to be easy with Leclerc going 1-1, but behind that, I don't know.
It's definitely...
I just know Lang is going to be up there as well, running in 4th. He was 3rd in the first moto.
Right. And with Prin and Holm both having pretty bad first motos, they're kind of non-factors here in playing spoiler more than anything. But Prin is trying so hard to fight back. Dualies! Prin outside turns to the inside. Holm, this outside still a little better.
40.9 to a 40.6 in terms of lap time, so Prin a little bit quicker that time around.
Leclerc continuing to stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah, 13-second gap.
Seems like Holm is surviving the pressure so far. Prin not quite able to make it happen just yet, but Prin's got cheeky line through here that's really fast. And then launching out to here. Oh, a little short.
Coming up a tad short. Oh, now off the track. Able to get back on quickly, but that just cost him about 3 seconds there.
Lang is way behind this battle, though. He's not been able to eat into it too much. Rockefeller now behind him. Then he got Speck, Magnetti, Fjellberg, Janice, Bear, and Blakely. Davis, Castaneda. This is a close battle right here. 4 riders nose to tail with Bear off the front of this group. Davis closes right up onto Blakely, who's going to get the drive down the mechanic straight. Castaneda's so good through here. Up the inside of Davis is going to get a pass done and avoids the downed Austin Bear. So that will move Castaneda up to 11th. Blakely slides into 10th around Bear, and Davis pretty much remains in the same spot he was. Castaneda going to work now on Blakely.
Got a good drive heading into this first turn area. See if he hits the double line. Nope, opts to follow Blakely through there. Over the table these guys go. All of them hugging that middle line. Castaneda, little mistake out of the exit. Davis, good drive.
And Hubbard. Here comes Hubbard as well on the 778 as Davis almost got into the back of Castaneda. They're going to go inside to out. Hubbard a mistake. Castaneda to the outside. Better line there, but Davis got the inside very clean.
Coming out of it.
Side-by-side dualies. Over the finish line jump, and Davis down the inside gets around Castaneda.
Nice move there out of the Phil's KTM rider as he tries to make his way up to Blakely to put it into the top 10. Because we're 10 minutes down in this moto.
Doubling his way through. Castaneda a little bit smoother. Hubbard seems like he's got the speed to run with these guys, but he keeps making small mistakes behind them, and now it's divulged into a little bit of a battle between just Davis and Castaneda.
And this has been Castaneda's spot throughout the whole race. Doesn't quite get the line this time, but doesn't lose that much time either.
So clean up the inside here is Castaneda. Here's Hubbard again, and now down this time. Hubbard was flying. Caught up to them in a hurry down that straightaway and then just got on the brakes and couldn't quite avoid maybe running into him. That's Bobby DeSalle getting up from a crash, but he is a lap down, I believe. down in
And
32nd.
having internet trouble.
Yeah.
So definitely gonna be a little bit of a struggle to get by him if he pops in and out. Does a little magic man around the track.
Castaneda launches and hits Davis, and he
Whoa!
pirouettes, and he lands it. How did he stay on two wheels? He flipped maybe a 900 off the track and gets up, and he's still getting on right in front of Caleb Hall here.
Caleb wondering how he just did that.
I've never seen someone spin that many times and not go down, but Castaneda somehow planted backwards, had to get it spun around to go the right direction, but still was on two wheels the whole time.
So while he tries to shake off his dizziness there, got Bear closing in as well. Hubbard still in the mix. And this is all outside the top 10. Battles all over the place.
Oh, now Castaneda pirouettes and goes down for sure. So
yeah, he's going to be really dizzy after that one.
several riders going by. Maybe he undizzied himself. He spun the other direction that time.
Oh, no, he's still spinning. Brandon Carter able to get by.
All right, so resetting things for just a second here as we are now at about 17 and a half minutes still to go. Alexis Leclerc continuing to lead. Adam Holmes still second. Prin third. Magnetti fourth. And Speck now side by side with Lang for fifth, but Lang on the outside gets the pass done.
Asking like he was standing still through there on the gas. See, avoids his down teammate over there.
Now he's going to try to close up onto Magnetti ahead of him.
Yeah, Magnetti, a slight case on that table before that corner. Gonna allow Lang to have a hook in him through this section. Passing the lapped rider there on the inside.
Magnetti holding steady right now ahead of Lang, but it is close battle nonetheless between the two of them. They're pretty far off of Nathan Prin up the road, so...
Oh, Lang gonna get past Magnetti right there with the triple. That pushes him to fourth.
They're about 25 seconds behind Prin, so unless there's more of a disaster type of moto ahead for Prin like we saw in the first one, this might be a position where Lang has to settle for fourth here. And again, looking at losing 7 points to Leclerc. Entered 5 points down, but is looking at losing 12 more points to leave here 17 points down to Leclerc. Definitely not ideal compared to what we've been seeing out of Lang so far this year. And as we are approaching the halfway mark here, and a bit of a lull in current action, let's go ahead and give a top 20 rundown. And this one's brought to you by R Jerky once again. That's eatrjerky.com. Use that code SYS20 for 20% off your order at eatrjerky.com. And I'll let you once again take it away, KR Money.
So we got Alexis Leclerc on his Rockstar Husqvarna Factory Racing hashtag SafeMoon for some reason. Running in the number one spot, 13 seconds up on atom.com's Adam Holm. Then we got Nathan Prin on his Phil's KTM ride in third. Much better performance as opposed to his first moto mistakes, though. Able to keep it almost on the track. Oh, getting sideways. Hard to turn away from him, but in the number 3 spot. As BPC's Luke Magnetti in fourth on his Yamaha. Tyler Lang trying to close the gap to him, so he has lost that position from earlier on his underground RC Kawasaki, but looking to take it right back. Cases the triple a little bit, though. So look for him to go to work. Hayden Speck on his Phil's KTM in 6th on the number 39 there. T.S. Janis there on his underground RC Kawasaki in 7th. Followed by Dennis Fjellberg on his Phil's KTM in 8th. Aaron Rockefeller riding for Underground RC as well in 9th. Chase Blakely going to round out the top 10 on his BPC Yamaha, with Devin Davis following close behind in 11th. Caleb Hall in 12th on his Underground RC ride. Austin Bear in 13th riding for Yogi Designs on his Honda. Jacob Hubbard riding for Phil's KTM in 14th. Braden Castellaneta in 15th on his Underground RC ride. Sean Hambrook in 16th The 976 there, looking for a team at the moment. Kyle Robb in 17th on his Tegrity ride. And it's Braden Carter falling to 18th here, so not quite the performance that he would have wanted after getting second in that first moto. And it's Jeffrey Bruins in 19th on his atom.com Kawasaki. And rounding out the top 20 was Cade Matherly, but he goes off the bike here and allows Reed Young to get by on his Tegrity ride. And that will conclude your top 20 rundown, final one of the stream.
Absolutely, and of course, ourjerky, eatourjerky.com. Use that code SYS20. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get yourself 20% off some deep beef jerky. Back to Leclerc out front, 21-second lead with 13 minutes left to go in race number 2 of the MXGP class. Looking to go 1-1 on the day. Adam Holm, Prin, battle brewing between Magnetti and Lang though for 4th. Lang is closed up on the 13. They've been yo-yoing back and forth here throughout the race.
And they've been matching lap times as of late as well. 142.9 out of Magnetti, 142.8 out of Lang, but he's down off the side of the track.
Picking himself back up now. And gonna have to go right back to the same work he was putting in to keep Magnetti close.
And he needs those points. He doesn't want to leave here at too much of a double-digit deficit.
Matthias Janus behind him was fairly
Lang,
close
another
now.
mistake.
Oh, Speck off the track. Jumps flying back on just ahead of Chase Blakely. That's one way to get back on the track.
Blakely off the track now.
Inside here. Turns to the outside here. He's going to get a good drive and might actually get this thing pretty close to Speck coming into the first turn.
I like the drive that he has, keeping that momentum up.
Staying out of the deep stuff. That rough chop coming through the first turn. Low line, Speck sideways down. And he is off the bike, so he's going to lose several more positions as Devin Davis and Dennis Fjellberg both go by. Rockefeller also swiped the spot, and Speck now gets going behind him. All right.
Battle continuing throughout from 7th, I want to say, back to 11th here as Speck makes another mistake, gets high centered on the rut.
Takes a lapper with
backwards,
him.
and now he's stuck in the ruts. Lets Caleb Hall go through into that number 11 spot. So Speck going to try to regroup here in a hurry. Almost runs into the back of Hall right there.
Close up a little faster than I think he was thinking right there, and had to get hard on the brakes as they went over that single. Now he's going to get right on him again. Look at this, tripling through.
Inside.
What a pass.
Gonna push him out of the way.
Just pushing the envelope. Now sends it to the outside. Has to lay it into the corner there. On the pipe.
And from what I hear, these... Oh! Down goes Speck right there. So Hall going to get back by.
As does Hubbard and Castellaneta. So Speck pushing the envelope a little bit too much. As here comes Leclerc as well. He just got around Austin Bear. So 20 minutes into this moto, Austin Bear in 15th just went a lap down. Doesn't seem like Leclerc is going to quite dominate this one as much as he did the first one. But all these guys now going to try to funnel in behind Leclerc and stick with him as he catches... Oh, Speck and Hubbard just went down off the table.
Ooh.
So Bear going to get those two spots, and Hubbard gets going as Speck now comes back on the track just as Castellaneta gets into the picture.
$20 minutes down in this one now. 10 more to go before the 2-lap board, if we had one, came out.
Now, I'm surprised that we haven't been able to... Those guys haven't been able to model one in yet, now that they've got modeled in flaggers and stuff.
And perhaps that's in the works.
We got a 30-second guy that walks off the track for real now. We got real flaggers. Wonder if it's just something about the game.
I'm just a little upset that there's no 30-second card girl, though.
Agreed. But hey, you know what? There isn't even one in real life anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the action on the track. Looks like we got a battle for 10th here between teammates, Rockefeller and Hall.
Yeah, lead
Not
group
too
is
far in front of them is Davis.
pretty stagnated. There's a bit of a battle going on maybe between Lang and Janice still, but we'll go back and take a look at that battle you were talking about. Rockefeller, he's lost some ground maybe to Hall.
Yeah, losing a little bit of ground now. Rockefeller closing just a little bit through that section. Launches it onto the start straight. And these guys are about to go a lap down to Leclerc, by the way. He's on the same straightaway as them. As Paul just launches the line and he's going to go down. Rockefeller will make the pass. And Hall will see Leclerc go by right about now.
So maybe I spoke too soon. Leclerc might be on his way to lapping into the top 5 if these guys continue to crash at this rate. Although 5th is, well, yeah, I guess it's still possible.
Possible.
It is Lang and Prin now.
Yeah,
so
Prin has fallen back. Not sure what happened to him. He is setting 139s throughout the race, but just can't seem to stay off the ground long enough to keep that pace going to the front.
And remember, Lang was up there with Magnetti, who's now found his way into 3rd, so Lang's mistakes have really cost him here because he did have another shot to get back into a podium position for this one. But now he is back here still dealing with Prin in a battle for 4th.
Into the first turn area they go. Lots of kickers being formed in that section as well.
Yeah, Prin is gaining some time in certain sections and then losing time in others as they both kind of launched a flat a little bit there. Little mistake. Prin has to bury the front tire.
And you do not want to do that on a sand track. You want to keep the front end light.
Wow, Prin did a 39.9 last time by, had a 39.2 as his best. Lang just does a 40.8. Crazy the pace these guys are running, and yet they still might be in danger of being lapped by Leclerc before this thing is all said and done.
Leclerc just went down, though, on that straightaway after that first turn. So we're going to lose a little bit of his lead.
Some kudos to Adam Holm, too, tonight, as he is coming back off after a week in Los Angeles. Now I believe he's back home in Florida, but didn't see him at all last week and had a pretty bad night at High Point because he wasn't racing on his main computer, then jumps right back into the saddle this week. And despite the mistake in the first moto where he missed a finish line jump, has been rock solid here in the second moto, and the only guy to keep Leclerc even somewhat honest.
In fact, Leclerc just went down again. So the gap going to tighten it a little bit more. Still going to be in control of this thing for the time being, but mistakes coming down the line for Leclerc.
Yeah, Holm weaving through some guys now. That gap is down to just 8.9 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Adam Holm is going to sense an opportunity here as well if Leclerc continues to make these mistakes, and he's going to have to go back through some of this.
Another one, he's off the bike!
Wow, Leclerc down. Here comes Holm to take over the race lead. Over the top of the hill, Leclerc is just about to get going. And we got a battle for the lead.
Close. Holm to the front.
The two most recent MXGP world champions battling here in Assen as Holm goes to the front. Oh, and he goes down! Just as he takes the lead, Holm is down and off the bike. Unfortunate turn of events after so many mistakes for Leclerc. Finally, one comes for Holm, and it gives a lead right back to Leclerc now with just 4 minutes and 2 laps remaining.
Oh man, Leclerc had a 25-point or a second lead at that point where he started making mistakes. And right as it seemed like Holm was able to capitalize on that, right over the berm he goes. But Leclerc still dealing with some lap traffic as he just narrowly misses one right there. Gap staying at about 9 seconds.
Leclerc is still dealing with lap traffic. Hubbard just got alongside him, almost was passing him back. Now is actually passing him back. And Leclerc sideways in the middle of the track. He high centers on a rut, and more lappers trying to get back around Leclerc. He's kind of coming unglued a little bit here. And another mistake off the side of the track. Holm is going to sense that time coming down and might wick up his pace again at an opportunity to win this moto.
Yeah, Leclerc has got to get regrouped in a hurry. He wants to hold on to this thing now, when before it would look like he would dominate this moto. Now it's just a struggle to keep it together.
Holm 5.8 seconds behind right now. Leclerc trying to push forward. Hubbard just ahead of him. Not conceding the main line just yet. But now is pulling off to the side and letting Leclerc go. This is coming down to crunch time, folks. 2.5 minutes on the clock. And Leclerc trying to regroup from several mistakes. Adam Holm is waiting in the wings to pounce at opportunity once again.
Meanwhile, behind these guys, we got a battle for third starting to brew. Lang is fighting his way through lap traffic at the moment, but he has caught up to Magnetti. It is down to less than 3 seconds.
What a bonus that would be for Lang as well, if not only he could get Magnetti, but Holm could go win this race as well, and it only is a 2-point swing in this moto, bringing it down to just a 12-point gap provisionally after this is over if it is able to swing that direction.
We'll see how deep Lang is able to dig here as he continues to close that gap to the BPC rider Magnetti.
Lang pushing it hard through those first couple of corners to get that double. And again, just keep closing that gap down slowly but surely if he can. See what he puts down, a 39.3 for Tyler Lang. Absolutely flying right now.
One of the fastest laps of the moto right now. And update on the lead, Leclerc has lost it again.
Home to the front. Wow, unbelievable change of events as Lang is chunking away time. Ahead of him to Magnetti, it's Holm leading in Assen. With time about to expire, and Holm off the side of the track and down. And Leclerc back to the lead again. If those two aren't careful, they're going to cough up this entire lead to Lang and Magnetti. Unbelievable. So time will expire.
This Holm had.
Time about to expire this time by, which means Leclerc is going to get the 2-lap board. Or so we think. Yeah, time will expire for sure, Leclerc. So 2-lap board about to come out. Magnetti still dealing with that pressure from Lang. Seems like Magnetti's responded, but now he makes a mistake, and Lang is going to be there to pounce.
Lang going to jump right by him there.
Doubles through the inside of the corner to go back into third. Back up to Holm. Gap is still about 5.5 seconds, 6 seconds-ish now. Leclerc trying to, again, just not make any of those mistakes. He's all over Hubbard again, who he just seems to be getting behind lap after lap at this point. Gets around him, though.
I was about to say Leclerc has a couple of lappers to deal with in front of him. Another Phil's KTM rider there. Looks like Davis getting out of the way. And a BPC rider just in front of him.
It's either Blakely, Jet Wisdom, or Robert Wilson.
Bet you one of them has a 99 on their bike.
I think this is Wilson on the 98.
Aw. Bet lost.
I think. I mean, it's so tough. The 8 and the 9 look almost identical, but I think that is the 98.
Yep, that is Wilson going a lap down. Leclerc going to get by him. Looks like right here.
Actually, Holm must have gone down. He's now 15 seconds down of them. Magnetti's closed up to within 15 seconds of Holm. And Lang is now back behind Magnetti again.
He's back behind him now, so
things are flip-flopping all over the board here, and Leclerc coming to the white flag.
Lang gonna go down. So gonna lose all that time he gained to Magnetti.
White flag about to be waving here for Leclerc, looking to go 1-1 and survive the barrage of attacks that Adam Holm put on him late in this one. And extend his points lead out to 17 on Tyler Lang if it stays as is.
Yeah, that gap staying at about 15 seconds. Debatable if he'll catch them or not, but Leclerc has a lot of lap traffic in front of him, so gonna have to be careful there.
Yeah, there's a whole chunk of them here. It's like 8 guys in a row or so coming into the switchbacks.
Oh, it may not matter. Holm just went down and right before the rollers here.
Man, Holm has got to be careful. Magnetti is going to be within about 5 seconds here coming out of this corner, and Holm is still kind of stuck in some lap traffic. Wow, that line from Magnetti is flying right now.
Yeah, Holman a bit of an underground RC sandwich as they're getting the blue flags. Oh, one gonna get hit out of the air there. It's like Rockefeller getting the blue flag, gonna get it right in the way of Holm.
That gap coming down to Magnetti in a hurry as Holm is just getting swallowed up by some lap traffic. Meanwhile, last 2 turns for your defending champion. He weasels through some guys going down, and he's going to do it again here in the deep sands of the Netherlands. Alexis Leclerc is your winner tonight in Assen. Instant disconnect. He's out of here. He's going to bed, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Holm trying to finish this one up in second.
Magnetti is closing in, though. A second in between them. Who's going to get a good drive out of these corners? Different lines. Lap rider down in front of Magnetti is going to cost him.
Fortunately, Lang not too close. But yeah, it is going to be Holm second, Magnetti third, a jillion lappers right behind him, and then Lang coming down here will end up 4th in this one. As mentioned, now that championship lead extended to 17 points for Leclerc. So the championship we thought was a lot closer coming into tonight, this MXGP title has now opened up to a 17-point lead, and the flip side, the MX2 class, that was a 25-point gap opening tonight's action, is now just a 1-point gap, and it changed hands. So that is why we go racing here in the Race Factor Gaming Grand Prix Championship. Never know what's going to happen. Good turnaround moto.
Over into the final checkered flag waves as Prin prepares to take that checkered flag in the number 5 spot.
Yeah, good turnaround moto for the Frenchman after something happened in the first moto. Not sure what. He's just going to go down in the last turn.
There, and he's upside down. That is a bad spot.
Blakely sees he's there. Oh, he's still trying to get going. Matthias Janis is coming into the final turn. Prince trying to get it turned around. They collect. Who's going to get up first? Oh, Janis is trying to get a drive. Oh, Prin let him go?
Prin let him go.
Wow, okay, so Janis crosses 6th, Prin's 7th. Fjellberg was 8th. He's the first rider lap down. And it was 9th for Davis, 10th Rockefeller, 11th Castaneda. Wow, Hambrook crossed line 12th, but he loses 2 spots to Hubbard and Hall. Bear ends up 15th, Speck 16th, Atkinson crossed 17th but ends up 18th on cuts, so Matherly gets 17th, 19th for Jeffrey Bruns, and 20th was Kyle Robb in this moto. But your big winner of the day, already out of here and gone to bed, is your defending champion, Alexis Leclerc, the winner of the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Assen. Woo! What a night of racing here.
Some races
in the Netherlands. Definitely a lot of fun. And a lot of fun had being joined tonight by the man, the myth, the legend, KR Money. Thanks so much again for coming by. Hopefully you had a lot of fun tonight.
I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have to get you back in sometime soon. I do know that this Wednesday night we're going to be back in a full regular studio. Andrew Wood is going to be in the booth here with us on Wednesday night, so we're going to be happy to bring him back for Southwick. So we'll want to see you guys then, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. But open the floor up to you real quick, KR Money. What you got going? Tell us about all your places where people can follow you at and the races you're going to be streaming coming up here soon.
Alrighty, so we got another race for EU on tomorrow, actually, at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be streaming that on my YouTube channel, First Turn Films. And I got another one for EU AMA on Thursday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then I think after that will be the AMS race for AMA as well on Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So check those out if you want to see some more action.
Absolutely. Thanks so much again for joining us tonight. It was an absolute blast to have you here, and you guys definitely better go check him out if you're into any other of the MX Simulator racing out there. The amateurs are a lot of fun to watch because the skill level may not be there, but the entertainment value is always seeming to be high, and KR Money does a great job covering them as well as all the other series that he was just talking about as well. Big final shout out to Millum for the sub, just subbed here a moment ago. And of course, a shout out to atom.com and our Jerky for coming on board on the broadcast with us this year. For all of us here at Race Reactor Gaming and myself, Kellen Brown in the booth, along with KR Money, we thank you for joining us for round 4 of the 2021 MX Simulator Grand Prix Championship here at Assen in the Netherlands. And we look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday night for the MX Simulator Southwick National. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye for now.
See ya.
Falling, 'cause we'll start falling.